F Waynesville and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Stephen Holder reports the Packers and the Dolphins both tried to work out a trade with the Colts for running back Jonathan Taylor. There is still trade interest in Taylor, but he'll be out for at least the first 4 games on the reserve PUP list. How is Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott really feeling about the team adding Trey Lance? ESPN's Dan Orlovsky says it would be understandable for Prescott to be annoyed.
When does enough become enough for a guy? You 3 years ago, you made me drag my feet through the contract extensions when I feel I outperformed it. I was a 4th-round pick, and the tag. And so at some point, there's that reminder that I was a little bit disrespected during that process. And now this is another one. Dan Orlovsky on Get Up. Mariners outfielder Julio Rodriguez is out for a second straight day with soreness in his left foot. Team USA finishes pool play 3-0 after a 110-62 rout of Jordan at the FIBA World Cup. Anthony Edwards with 22 points for the Americans, who now play Montenegro in the second round on Friday.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. We're live in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And the Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. You really want to subscribe to the channel. Not that it's going to be too late when it hits, but, football season is here. And I'm amped up because we are just one day away from actual competitive college football.
Well, I don't know so much about that first word you said.
Competitive?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Who's going to be competitive?
NC State, UConn.
Well, yeah.
See,
until UConn runs away in the second half and beats them by 3 scores. NC State
he's already
fans
digging.
In my Twitter saying things that I'm screenshotting.
Seeing some sad little puppy dog faces on Friday morning could be the way to just kick off week 1 in cheery fashion. But tomorrow night, there's like 8 games, and there'll be something on worth watching.
Oh, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Tomorrow, when we speak again, we'll be 1 week away from NFL football.
Oh, that's what and I love college football. College football to me is like, that's the dollar marks. All right. It got me here. That's the only reason I've ever stepped foot in an Applebee's. Mm-hmm. But it's still Applebee's. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. But it's not the NFL.
No. And they definitely, I still feel like they need to do a better job on these week 1 games. Before you get the attention taken away from you by the NFL, at least start with some banger matchups.
I got some bangers, if that's what you're looking for.
We don't really have that this week. Most competitive game of the weekend is going to be Carolina.
Oh, and Florida State LSU.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one on Sunday.
Oh, that's the winner. Speaking of that, you can watch that game with us. Sunday, is our payoff for the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest. We'll be doing Justin Parton's League at noon. Then we'll be doing the Show League. We'll be live streaming all these things, telling some jokes, saying some wordy dirds because we're not on FCC radio, exactly. Which I enjoy those. And then we'll be watching Florida State LSU together, and Jeremy is either going to get very happy intoxicated or very sad. The last word doesn't change.
No.
That's happening.
Intoxicated
period
is how you will live your life, or you do live your life. I mean, I guess it's just never really stops. I was gonna say from this point until March, but it doesn't really change in the off season either.
No,
You're just, I mean,
it actually gets worse.
I mean, you're like Dalvin Cook, really. You're just always staying in shape because you never know when that phone call is gonna come. Dalvin Cook talking about being in the huddle for with Aaron Rodgers for the first time at Jets practice. That'll get your blood going. Have you seen that?
What got mine going was hearing him talk to Jihad Ward on Hard Knocks last night.
Oh, Aaron
Rodgers and I are going to be best friends before this is all said and done because I'm not sure we're not the same person.
You very well may be.
Jihad Ward shoves him after an incompletion. He's like, "Come on, bro, 5 steps. I don't even know who you are."
Yeah.
To which he responds with the dumbest thing I've ever heard somebody. "I don't even know who you are." Then you don't actually know what you're doing right now.
And you're not sure
you need somebody to walk you back to wherever you're being cared for.
Did you get concussed? Because that's the only way you wouldn't know.
And then he gets back in his face in a preseason game, and it just made me go, "Let's go!"
Yeah, but what do you say at that point? Aaron Rodgers takes exception to something you did. He tells you he doesn't know who you are. Then what's your comeback? Of course your comeback's going to be, "I don't know who you are."
Well, then you're a dum-dum.
Yeah.
I don't need to argue with you.
I did enjoy the New York Giants follow-up to that tweet going viral where they posted Jihad Ward just laying Aaron Rodgers out last year in the Packers game. So, I mean, we get that you may not remember who this guy is because he knocked your brains out.
Well, I mean, Aaron's had his brains knocked out a bunch of times.
Yes.
Jihad Ward is still Jihad Ward. He's still Aaron Rodgers. And he got you, okay? This is like when you troll me in the comments. Just know I'm going to fire back, and you're probably going to lose. Somebody found that out on YouTube a couple days ago.
Why are you always creating trouble?
You you shall foe.
Just the life you lead, right? Just
I'm a confrontational person. What can I say?
College football starting in earnest tomorrow night. Of course, we will have the North Carolina-South Carolina battle from Bank of America Stadium and the Dukes Mayo Classic for you here on ESPN Asheville coming up on Saturday night. Here on ESPN Asheville, all Tar Heel football all season long right here in the Sportsocracy. That means tomorrow should be our first check-in with Jones Angel, the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, who you hear on these here airwaves. The schedule's not that great, but it's still football.
Oh, wait, what was that game you said?
North Carolina, South Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
Banger.
Many of you are not going to like which way I go in that one.
But we will have real-life bangers coming up tomorrow as Jeremy will get us set for tomorrow night's slate of games.
Ooh, that does feel like an excuse to go through another set of bangers. Hadn't thought of that. Yep,
you didn't think that far ahead?
No. I live in the moment, Tank.
Okay.
I breathe it in.
I get it. I know you. He's got his pick for Florida, Utah coming up at the end of this hour. That is the quote-unquote premier game of Thursday night, where Utah, who's good at football, will face Florida, who
is not.
I mean, are they that bad? Are they really that bad?
They're really that bad.
Billy Napier taking over there, and apparently they're screwing all of their all of their recruits out of their NIL money. And
well, they looked at Graham Mertz and went, "Yeah, let's do that. That kid that couldn't score in the Big Ten. Let's do that in the SEC. That'll be fun."
I guess sometimes.
Oh, and 2 of our 3 non-conference games are against teams that are either the best or second best team in their own conference.
Whee! Good luck with that. Hey, why can't we get that Georgia schedule? That's what they're asking.
I'm done even arguing about that. It just makes me angry every time I think about it.
What?
2-time reigning national champions. You play 4 technical institutes, 3 culinary schools. I'm pretty sure you play a homeschool team. You're the first college football team I've ever seen play the homeschool team.
We got the North Georgia Falcons coming up against
Let's go.
against the Georgia Bulldogs this week. You can't find a line on their game this weekend with the Skyhawks of UT Martin.
$1 billion.
It's a banger of a matchup.
That has 70-4 written all over it.
Absolutely. I texted my wife earlier today, and I said, you do realize, because she sent me a TikTok that was of some guy giving his wife a note, which she had to read out loud, that was, the off-season's been fun, but this is my 2 weeks' notice. Because in 2 weeks, the NFL will be back, and I will no longer be available between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. on Sundays. Oh, by the way, Saturdays are out too because I will be watching college football. And my response to her was facts.
All of that is facts.
Facts. You better get on board now because you know it's coming. Football's right around the corner, and every ounce of extra energy that we had is now geared toward that. And you just kind of have to.
This is why, look, we have the perfect job. You get to enjoy the summer. Summer's fun time. We almost are like teachers. We work for 9 months and then we're done for 3.
Right.
Only thing is we keep coming in.
We kind of have to.
And we tell jokes. And
and we do power rankings and we do lists and we do all of the silly things that we don't do during the off season or during the regular season because we got stuff to talk about each and every day. But anyway, I was, told my wife that, those are the facts. Just think. A week from tomorrow, we will have the NFL back, and then by, 7:15 on Saturday night, the Georgia Bulldogs will have scored at least 55 points.
Yes. Adam Black asked, in his fantasy league, they select draft order by picking the highest scoring college team the Saturday before that has a line. And he asked, is it Baylor? I don't think it's Baylor, but I can figure out who it is and give you a whale of a banger on that.
Okay. I would think USC would be a good, maybe Notre Dame against Tennessee State.
Yeah, they'll call the dogs off, though. You need one that they can't help but score 1 billion points. Tennessee. I don't know why I thought about that as hard as I did.
Tennessee against Virginia.
Tennessee. End of message. Repeat the line.
Oregon and Portland State.
Again,
maybe.
You're not going to risk anybody getting hurt. Tennessee might be out to prove a point of, hey, they play in the Power 5, and we scored 843 points.
It is hard for me to believe that there are teams that will take those games seriously. I get you're playing a Power 5 school, but it's Virginia. Is there another Power 5 school that you would take more lightly than Virginia?
Cal, Stanford. And those are Power 5. Those are
adjacent.
Those are Pinos. They're Power 5 in name only. All right, that's not a Power 5 school. That's Boise State light.
And apparently it's still up in the air that they're going to join the ACC. And I thought for sure we'd have a definite on that by now. The last report that I saw on this was that Monday night the ACC shot callers were getting together for a phone conference to talk about this, and I've heard nothing since. So it makes me think that they're not getting this done, at least not now.
It wasn't going to get. It would be next year anyway, and they're all coming in with virtually 0% shares, so it doesn't really matter.
And that's the only way that happens. The only way you're joining this conference is if you pay us.
It's like inviting the nerdy kid to dinner. The only way you're coming is if you're picking up the tab for me. Then I can tolerate your Dungeons and Dragons talks for an hour and a half.
Why do I feel like that's a personal story? Why do I feel like you've done that to someone before?
What are you, a cop?
You're an awful person.
I am not an awful person.
Terrible.
I am a good man. I'm just a very blunt man, and I'm a very honest man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we have a word for that. and it's called Can't Say That on the Radio.
Oops.
Oopsie. It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should do so tomorrow, especially.
Well, one of you is going to be our 4,000th subscriber in like the next, I don't know, hopefully hour.
Hey,
that would be awesome.
Spread this out. Share it with your friends.
It'd be really awesome if somebody do that today so I can remember what day that happened.
Hey.
It's a lot easier to remember the last day of August than it is some random day in September.
Absolutely.
So if you hadn't done that and you'd like to, you would be my friend.
Tomorrow's going to be a Threadbare Thursday, so you're going to want to get your questions in on the program to make sure that whatever's burning in your heart and on your mind, we will get to at some point on the Threadbare Thursday. But today, we continue talking football, and yesterday was a big day. We had cut day and no Jonathan Taylor trade. And now we're hearing reports of what exactly was offered for Jonathan Taylor. And the Indianapolis Colts, you've said this several times, Jeremy, but I'm starting to become more convinced that Jim Irsay lives in a drug-induced haze his entire life. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
BetOnline.net is your #1 information source for all your sports wagering info this football season. With all the up-to-the-minute stats, news, scores, and matchups. Get the latest game odds from college football to pro football at your fingertips with BetOnline.net on mobile with real-time updates on stats, news, and odds. And not just football, we're your sports intel headquarters for everything happening during the busy fall season in sports. From baseball postseason to basketball to hockey. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
To start the season, spray away stress. Get rid of grime. Clear the nerves. Do away with dirt and doubt. And lose the germs. For less worry and more wins. When you get to a clean slate, the possibilities are endless. Clorox. Start clean. Always use products as directed.
It's back to school season at Famous Footwear. After all, Famous Footwear is famous for helping you find the perfect shoes for the whole family, no matter what style you're looking for. Grab the hottest looks like retro joggers from New Balance, court sneakers from Nike, colorful Crocs, the comfiest Hey Dudes, and more. Bring in the whole family today and let our Famous Footwear team of sizing experts help every kid find the perfect fit. And for a limited time, get up to 30% off Nike, online, and at a local Famous Footwear. Valid on select styles.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
Yesterday in the NFL, it was the deadline that we all thought there was going to be like a momentous shift yesterday.
Do you have a mouse in your pocket?
I do.
Because that's the only way that any we should be said here. I specifically told you how this was going to
go. Jonathan Taylor, I fully expected him to be moved by the deadline yesterday. He did not get moved.
The only way he was getting moved yesterday is if he listened to a Kenny Loggins album. It's moving music. Don't judge me. I hear some of the things you listen to. You have no room to talk.
Was that was the name of a Kenny Loggins album? You
no.
had, or what?
No, it's just touching. Oh, I'm thinking of Kenny G. Sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong one. Kenny Loggins is Highway to the Danger Zone. Yeah, I understand now why you didn't get that.
Yeah, no, or Footloose.
Also both. Awful.
Or the song from Caddyshack. I mean, he did all the movies in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Apparently. Yeah, I was thinking of the dude with the flute.
Oh, yeah.
Or the clarinet or whatever it is he plays. Oboe. I don't know what that is for this. I don't really care.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. So Kenny G was what you were.
Kenny G is who I was referencing.
All right. Anyway, Jonathan Taylor. What were the offers on the table for Jonathan Taylor?
Well, I made a couple calls on this, and I had my ear to the ground on this one for a few days, and I kept hearing the same thing. Jim Irsay is Gary Busey level drunk on what he's asking for. So there are a handful of teams that we know had some kind of actual interest. We know the Dolphins had a modicum of interest. Came out today that the Green Bay Packers were
heavily interested.
The Bears, handful of others. Jim Irsay told them off the jump, if you're not willing to give me what Carolina got for Christian McCaffrey, that's where we start, and I am certainly not going below that. Well, then the Miami Dolphins call and go, you know what? Maybe we can talk to him like rational, civilized individuals. They asked for Jalen Waddle for Jonathan Taylor.
No, I don't want to. No.
That would be like me. Actually, you know what? I don't think I could pay that off in a way that FCC Air will allow.
It's absolutely insane. You honestly believed that they were going to be receptive to giving up a top 15 wide receiver for Jonathan
a running
Taylor.
Back, period. I don't care. I don't care how you finish that sentence. For a running back of any kind that you in turn have to pay.
Right.
I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand. I've been telling sports freak Brian Hall this all offseason long. You may really think the Miami Dolphins need a running back. They don't agree with you. They would like one. They don't value them. So they offered very little. Not even really worth discussing. And Chris Greer came out and said, we didn't even get to the offer point. Ha! Liar! You made an offer. I know you made an offer. You know you made an offer.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't legit. And when you found out what Jim Irsay wanted, and that's the end of that.
Right.
I heard that all weekend long.
And here's what I've been trying to make mash up in my brain since all of this started. Okay, you want a first-round pick for Jonathan Taylor. Or the equivalent.
I wish I had lower cholesterol and a sports car, but that's not going to happen.
No, especially
I like cheeseburgers.
I was going to say, especially not without some kind of medication. You're not getting there.
Even with the medication, you can stop eating cheeseburgers, and I'm out.
But the thing I can't wrap my brain around is how Jim Irsay feels justified in asking for that kind of ransom for Jonathan Taylor when he doesn't want to pay him. How do you make those jive in your head?
Because you can play this game for an extended period of time.
And I guess so.
The only problem is that Jim Irsay is getting 75% of the way down the road, and he's missing his on-ramp. Because, you can hijack this guy's career. It's not going to benefit you in any way.
No, and it's going to taint the waters for anybody to ever come play for you again.
The water's already tainted on Irsay. We have officially gone into what in the world is going on with you. Hey, look, we've always known that he he enjoyed a snow shower every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
If you know, you know. And now I'm not sure he hasn't completely lost his mind because you played this terribly. And now you got this asset, and I don't know what you're supposed to do. Everybody I talk to in the NFL goes, why would I make this deal? I have a guy that's coming off a horrendous down year that you're expecting me to pay for him on a higher side than what he was worth 2 years ago. Oh, and by the way, I have to pay him. Oh, and by the way, he plays a position that is completely devalued in modern day NFL. Make that make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's like having a product that doesn't sell, and you go, what can we do to unload this inventory we got? Got an idea. Let's make it 3 times more expensive. Not buying it at $5. Let's sell it for $15.
Right.
Jim Irsay's going to have a place in the next cabinet. I have a feeling because that's a very U.S. government theory. Spend $800 on a door. Has to open, close, and lock. Didn't do 2 of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. So
the most surprising part of this to me is that Green Bay was really seriously in.
And I get why. You'd be interested.
Explain it to me.
Because Jonathan Taylor is better than any running back you have right now. And
we don't know that.
Oh, yes, he is.
He wasn't last year. He wasn't better than either
last year.
Okay. How many running backs you ever seen get hurt just one time and, it never happens again? I would argue you give me Aaron Jones' career, Jonathan Taylor's career, I'll take Aaron Jones, where we're sitting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's less tread on the tires, and you're already paying Aaron Jones.
Right.
I get all of that.
And you're going to have to pay him again.
No, you're not. Aaron Jones, I believe, is 28 years old. You're not paying him again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really understand going into this year, do you think it's going to get drastically better with Jonathan Taylor?
No, but the future can be brighter with Jonathan Taylor.
Is that not why you spent nice draft capital on A.J. Dillon? Or do I, the ESPN draft nerd, not understand how the draft works?
But now he's getting to the point where you're going to have to pay him.
Okay.
If you want to keep him.
So is Jonathan Taylor. And you're going to have to pay him way more. He's already become a malcontent. So he's not taking – I don't care what he says. I'd take less money to get down to Indianapolis. Well, you're going to have to because you're out of your mind if you think anybody's paying you that level, especially now that you're going to miss the first 4 games of the season for an injury that we can't see or talk to you about. Yeah, I'm good. I don't think anybody's handled this well. This is one of those great big – it's like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing finger guns at each other. Well, if you shoot, he shoots, and then you all get shot. And it's who's the winner in this? There's not one.
Mm-hmm. So you would rather not do the deal and
I think
just
this was
AJ
incredibly stupid from Green Bay. I get kicking the tires. The fact that you kick the tires enough that somebody would feel the urge to out you on this, I don't get that at all.
To me, it makes perfect sense. I'll take Jonathan Taylor. I'll give you one of my running backs.
Oh, and by the way, Aaron Jones is 29.
There you go.
And he's got 2 years left on his deal. Cap numbers high last year. I can only imagine that's what it was. Because Miami was, not Miami, Indianapolis at a time was interested in Aaron Jones back in the before times. Miami, a bunch of other teams have had interest. I don't know if they'd parlay him or just run him into the ground.
Right.
But I don't get it. You're set at running back, a position that is devalued to everyone, and now you're trying to put more capital into it. I don't understand.
Because somebody has to, right? Somebody has to. Somebody has to take him on.
Tim Raymond said the culture basically holding him hostage. Brian Hall said the same thing to me earlier today. What else am I supposed to do? I screwed this up. I've completely hemorrhaged his value. Nobody's going to give me 30% of what he's worth. So am I supposed to just sell him off because I said something stupid? That's not how this works. I'm the owner of the team. I can do whatever I want to. If I want to end his career, I can do it. Now, is it going to have long-term ramifications? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the more likely scenario is he doesn't play for the first 4 weeks. Somebody goes down, and somebody gets desperate.
That's the path that I believe. Mm-hmm. That's the path that I believe we're going down. And if not, I think it gets real interesting after that. Because what does he do? Does Jonathan show up and play? Because he needs to. He needs to show up to play to get that to get the year, right?
Well, accrued season, that ship has already. Well, no, he showed up. He showed up. He's already got the accrued year. You have to be on the roster August 9th to get into the accrual.
I thought you had to play a certain amount of snaps during the season, or you had to.
Oh, so what? A guy that gets hurt in the preseason doesn't get an accrued season?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you have to be in camp. He did that. Now, and I'll be honest with you, you remember that point where he came to camp and then all of a sudden he just left and we all went, huh, that was weird. No, I completely get it now. Because he did his due diligence. I showed up. I did what I was supposed to do. So he's going to hit free agency at the end of this year, one way or the other. Doesn't matter if he plays a snap. That does not matter. The question is, does Indianapolis just sit here and do this with you forever? Because Jim Irsay is probably the only owner in the league that I think would do this. But I'm not sure he won't. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that he won't play your little song and dance for a full year. Same way the Houston Texans did with Deshaun Watson. Oh, you want out? Cool. Go sit at home. Mm-hmm. Did it benefit them in any way? No. But they eventually got what they wanted.
Yeah.
That was with a quarterback, not a running back. I get it.
But I was going to say that they had to wait a long time to get it, and they couldn't really do anything with him.
Well, it's not affecting Indianapolis. You can win 4 games with him or 3 without him. Your call. Doesn't really –
It's completely up to you, whichever way you want.
But I mean, the bad thing is that now you should have a lot of hope in the franchise because you drafted this quarterback, and now I feel like you've almost just hung him out to dry. Like now, I have no running back. I have the worst running back room in the league. I have the worst wide receiver room in the league. I have a line that's fine. So how exactly am I supposed to do this with this raw of a quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a dumpster fire franchise.
It is.
If I was a Colt fan, I would be irate right now at the situation and the state of affairs with my team. And it all ties back to your owner, who has way more in common with Gary Busey than you want him to.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
On the fringe of some tropical moisture tonight, there are flood watches up as close by as Greenville, South Carolina, and over to Charlotte. The northernmost fringe from Hurricane Idalia, keeping its hurricane status as it crosses Georgia into South Carolina. Some light rain showers possible for us. Thunderstorms possible, 58 degrees. Mostly sunny Thursday, high 82. Friday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Save on select 3-quart mums. Right now, just 2 for $12. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/30 in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
In a world where thrills never stop, $1 million is on the line. And your fate is decided every 4 minutes by a bunch of random numbers with...
Dan, I think Keno's exciting enough without you doing the voice.
But my talents add a little something, right?
I guess.
Carolina Keno, $1 million thrills every 4 minutes.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win. A price range from 1 to 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We are back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. And Jeremy, it might be time for you to get outside your comfort zone.
I don't like where this is headed.
It might be time for you to seek new shelter elsewhere. Because I have found the best promotion for you this football season.
All right.
And it comes to you from Jack's American Pub on Brady Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Any interest in moving to Milwaukee?
It's really cold there, and I don't love cold.
I mean,
I've already seen me do that once, and I didn't love
it. Well, in Milwaukee, at Jack's American Pub, obviously Milwaukee, that's a Packers area, right? So this bar doesn't have any problem bringing in Packers fans for Packers games. But when the Packers are not playing this year and Aaron Rodgers is, he still wants to pack the bar out. So he's got a deal that he is offering that if you come watch the Jets games when the Packers aren't playing, you come watch the Jets games at Jack's American Pub, start a new tab 15 minutes before the game starts. Stay for the entire game. And if Aaron Rodgers starts that game and loses, then your tab's paid for.
I will bankrupt that bar in 3 weeks.
I don't know if that's possible because remember he has to lose for you to do that.
First 6 weeks are ugly.
The first 6 weeks are ugly.
We go 3-3. I will keep you afloat and then sink you every other week.
Right. And see, that's my problem with this. Like I get it. I think it's a cool idea to get people into the bar, but that first Monday night game against the Buffalo Bills, that's not going to be easy.
No.
That's gonna be a very tough game.
This is also a brilliant marketing scheme because it gets people like us to talk about it.
100%.
And you may have no liability. Because if the Jets win and people show up and they're trying to qualify,
oh yeah,
that's going to hurt a lot.
No doubt. Second week you got to play at Dallas. Then third week of the season, I'm skipping over the Patriots. Fourth week of the season, you got to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Then you get the Broncos. You wouldn't want to show up for that game. But then you got the Philadelphia Eagles in week 6. If by some chance the Jets end up going 2-4 in that scenario, I believe this little gimmick that he's put forth is not going to last. That will end very, very quickly. Because that bar is going to be packed with dudes just like Jeremy. They're not Jets fans.
Well,
they may not even be Packers fans and Aaron Rodgers fans.
I have nothing to lose. I'm either going to I'm going to get a Jets win, or I am going to get housed on your dime.
But that's
win-win.
It's taking the risk. But it could cost Jack a whole lot of money. Now, that does not include food and does not include top shelf liquor.
Liquid pork chops. Let's go.
But it does include all other beverages.
Domestic lights.
So beers and I guess house liquor.
Don't. Well, depending on the place.
Why not?
Some places have like Jim Beam as their house. That's fine. Other places have Old Crow as their house. You should run from that.
Just mix it with Coke and you'll be fine.
That's what a bellyache sounds like. That just grumbled at you. 3 things in life you should never go cheap on, and alcohol is the only one that I can say on this show. My story is about Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and, well, he loves to talk. He went on Barstool Sports, a little podcast. They asked him a slew of questions, and one of them was about marijuana use in the NBA and how that's basically they've become more lenient in the NBA on recreational marijuana use. But he had a little line in that interview that struck me. He said, no lie, I've traded guys because they smoke too much. The issue, it can have an influence on the young guys. And basically he goes down this rabbit hole of everybody smokes, of which that's not true. I'm one of them because I don't do crimes. I know it surprised a lot of people, but there's no line that he really shows of how much is too much. I mean, all right, Snoop Dogg, too much.
Yep.
Tommy Chong.
Too much.
Too much.
Yep.
What's just enough? And who are the guys that you've traded because they were jumping over that line? We need more information, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real curious who was going how high and had to get shipped out of Dallas.
I got to know what the bar is. What is the bar on this? Is it how much you buy? Is it how much you consume? Who's taking those reports, and what makes you think I'm gonna be honest on that report? Just curious. Like, okay, I get you want to.
What do you do a psych exam on me 3 times a day? How much do you love Funyuns right now?
Are you going to test me?
So much.
Are you
Too much.
Are you going to try to test me and see how high my THC level is? Because that goes against the players' union, right? That goes against the bargaining agreement. We agreed not to do this anymore. You can't test me, so there's no way to enforce this.
I think what he's saying is if it becomes an issue to where guys would follow you and then they go down a rabbit hole. But how do you say both of these things out of both sides of your mouth? You're fine with guys smoking. Just don't do it too much.
Right.
I don't know what too much is.
Does every day disqualify you, or does twice a week disqualify
you? If it does,
you,
then I know a bunch of people that are not going to be working for the Dallas Mavericks.
100%. I don't know why you wouldn't these days. If they're not tested for it and it's not against the rules anymore, then why wouldn't you?
Because I have no interest.
Yeah, and we can no longer be shocked.
Yeah, I have zero interest.
So-and-so popped on the drug test. Yeah, I kind of assume everybody's doing drugs at this point. I mean, hell, we've got Aaron Rodgers out here saying he does psychedelics during the week of games. Like, yeah.
I was completely prepared to do that. And then somebody went, nope.
Somebody's warned you against it?
Oh, 100%. Somebody you know. They went, yeah, you do realize that all those things that you keep locked in your head, they could all burst forth like a dam. And I went, nope, I'm out.
Yep. I mean, I would think listening to the testimonials of people that have done these ayahuasca retreats before would ward you off of it. I know you saw that interview with Ron White and the Bears guy, not Bert, the other one. What's his name? The 2 Bears, 1 Cave guy.
Oh, Tom Segura.
Tom Segura, thank you. I don't know why his name wasn't coming to my head.
Well, you said the Bears, and we're doing a sports show, so I was sitting up Jim McMahon.
Which bear is Bert? Sorry, I had to say that. Anyway, I know you've seen that interview where Ron White talks about every bad experience he ever had in his life, like rolled up on him like a tidal wave in the middle of one of these, and he thought there was never going to be an end to it.
Yeah, I'm good.
With someone who has as much drama and pain and anguish and anger in your life, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, it's probably not a good call.
I believe you need to keep them dinosaurs buried.
Let's stick with my domestic lights. I'll be fine.
Are you doing your fantasy drafts this week? Are you doing like Jeremy told you to? And if they wanted you to draft earlier, did you tell them that you were going to leave the league unless you drafted this week? I mean, I didn't, because I don't really care when we draft. I'll take the risk. Thankfully, I did not go out on that limb and draft Jonathan Taylor with the hopes of what would be this year with the Indianapolis Colts. So I feel pretty good about that. Those are the most disappointed fantasy owners at this moment. The guys that took Jonathan Taylor in the top 5 and everything's going to be fine. You did that 3 weeks ago, and now he's going to be gone for at least 4 games, and who knows if he's going to play at all this year.
I mean, we have a guy like this every year.
Sure.
Last year was Deshaun Watson. We know he's coming back in week 12. What's he going to be? Do you hold him on the right? I look at Jonathan Taylor now and just go, I'll let somebody else fall on that grenade because I don't want to.
Well, I don't think many people are going to do it. Where does he fall now? In a regular draft, where is he going to fall to? Somebody will still take him at the top of the second round, I guarantee you.
At the top of the second round?
Yeah.
You play with stupid people.
He wouldn't get out of the first round?
He wasn't going in the top of the second round before we knew he was going to miss 4 games.
Oh, stop that. Yes, he was.
See, there's these things, they're called ADP, that I can tell you exactly where he was going.
Mm-hmm.
Actively, Jonathan Taylor was going 25th as we sit. That's right now. You're shaking your head like I'm making this up.
Because I've been in 17 drafts already this year,
people.
And not once has he gone outside the first round.
Then you should play with much smarter people, because if you took him in the first round, you're a moron. And that's the nicest way I can say that. This is a guy you don't even know where he's going to play. No, his ADP right now is 25. I'm looking at it on Fantasy Pros right now.
Okay.
Somehow he was going ahead of Najee Harris, which I find to be absolutely insane.
Well, because Najee Harris is just not good at football.
Well, Jonathan Taylor may not play it.
Way too many damn times.
Well, I mean, it's fine. Does he score a point? Then he may be better than Jonathan Taylor.
He very well may be. He very well may be.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't want anything to do with that in any shape, form, or fashion. Especially not even if he had been traded.
Mm-hmm.
I would. Let's say he'd been traded to Miami yesterday. I would still look at Jonathan Taylor and go, I don't know what that means. He could be in the grossest committee I've ever seen, where he's 60% and Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert and Devin A-Chain make up 40% of it. I'll pass.
You're good. You're just completely out on that. I mean,
I'm still stuck
now.
on the people that you had that were taking him in the first round.
Absolutely,
because basically,
not a single one.
You've literally already cut your own feet off.
Oh, absolutely.
If anybody did that in a league with me, that would have ended one of 2 ways. We would have been in a fight, or you would have left very sad about your future outlook, because I wouldn't have let you live it down for 3 hours. I would have and the more I drank, the worse it got. Like, are you stupid? That would have been round 16, and that's where now we fight.
So, obviously, Jonathan Taylor, he's number 1 on the most overrated fantasy draft pick that you could have at the moment. Who else is on that list for you, though?
On what list?
Most overrated fantasy player.
The most overrated. I mean, I got a bunch of them. Saquon Barkley is screaming at me.
Really?
That's Armchair's favorite.
Yeah.
And I look
his
at him.
His favorite what?
His favorite player in fantasy football.
Yeah.
That's his MVP of the year. And I'm like, you do realize that they're going to see nothing but 7-man boxes all year long. Daniel Jones is not going to beat me. And the more you look at that schedule, the more you go, oh, good Lord. Like, even if you tell me they didn't stack the box against him, is he good enough to beat 6-man boxes against that schedule? I'll pass. Josh Jacobs is really high on that list to me, too.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I don't think he's a good player, but because people seem to forget that, well, last year happened. I don't envision that happening again.
Yeah. But did they not do this to them last year? Did other teams not stack the box against him last year? Did they not try to stop Saquon Barkley last year? Because if they did a poor job of doing it.
Worst schedule in the league. I will say that for the second day in a row. When you play the dead last schedule in the league, it doesn't really matter what they do. You're going to make your hay one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Against what they're playing, good luck. I'm not sure they even have to. You play the Jets and the Cowboys twice and the Eagles twice and the Bills, a Washington team twice that I think is going to be pretty good. Yeah, I'm good. You can do the Saquon Barkley thing.
Yeah.
I'm Seacrest out.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, that's another one. No way, no how.
Now that one I get. I get Derrick Henry.
If I was a defensive coordinator against the Tennessee Titans, I would literally put all 11 guys on defense in the box and go, I don't think he can complete a pass with me in his face.
I completely get the Derrick Henry thing because, yeah, that is a way, or that is a running back that I feel like you can stop him.
Because he's all they have.
Right, and I don't trust anybody running that offense to be creative, right? Brian Daboll will do that with New York. He'll make it creative enough to give Saquon some room.
Kelvin Joyner in our YouTube comments even said, even with Waller attacking the middle of the field, I like Waller. Every team has one guy that can deal with him, and you don't have anybody else. I mean, I think Waller will be just fine because he's the number one target in that offense. I just don't know that Saquon can live up to where they've been stacking this up. And I just like other running backs better. Mm-hmm. Travis Etienne, I'm finding myself doing that a lot. Because they're going to be up a lot. I don't know if it's going to be by a ton, but they're going to be up.
Okay.
Which means Etienne gets a boatload of work. Pitwinkle, our DC Streams friend, Justin Harvey, asked in the chat about a trade in his draft, or in his league, of Mark Andrews for Terry McLaurin and Travis Etienne, which is a question he asked me before the show. And the chat has said, yeah, follow the bearded one. Because I would do Terry McLaurin or Travis Etienne for Mark Andrews.
Wow.
Let alone both of them.
I don't know if I can go down that path with you, but yeah, that's definitely a trade that you cannot say no to.
I would have said you could not as soon as you sent that to me, except I'm not even giving you the chance to think about that.
It.
I'm going to do it immediately, and I might regret it. I don't care.
We'll continue the fantasy discussions in the upcoming hours of the program. Also talk some college football after the Sports Center update. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's Bangers for tomorrow. Next.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Research shows people remember ads with wacky sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes and saves you hundreds on home insurance, here's something zany.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. To reiterate, these sounds are just to help you remember how much you'll save. Oh, come on.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Labor Day savings start now at Lowe's. Get up to an additional $1,500 off select major kitchen appliances. And save $100 off select laundry pairs, priced $1,396 or more. Plus, pick up the latest DeWalt PowerStack 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery kit and get a select Bear tool free. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/30. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. While supplies last.
Coffee's the closer's only.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
One more sleep until actual competitive real-life college football. All right, there's only one game on the schedule that's two teams that are actually palatable to watch play, and I would argue one of them isn't as palatable as you'd expect. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The Utah Utes host the Florida Gators. Let me make this as clear as I can. Florida is awful. The only reason this number is moving so much is because there is a possibility that Cam Rising doesn't play for Utah. Tore his ACL at the end of last year in the Rose Bowl, may or may not be prepared. They've been doing that Kyle Whittingham thing where will we or won't we? I don't care if he plays or not. Frankly, I don't care if the mascot plays quarterback. 4.5 is stupid, and that's what Utah's catching at home against a Florida team that really upended their season last year. This might be the easiest wager I've had in a week one in a long time. Utah has high-level expectations. Not saying they're going to make the playoff, but they could be competitive for the Rose Bowl if USC falters. They're that good. Florida, on the other hand, is probably the third worst team in the SEC, and they're starting Graham Mertz. Yeah, you remember that guy that had 1 week at Wisconsin, and then we really quickly realized he's not good at football. That's the starter at Florida. This is going to be a boat race. Give me Utah minus the 4.5. I'm not touching the over because I'm not sure that Florida can score. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
On the fringe of some tropical moisture tonight, there are flood watches up as close by as Greenville, South Carolina, and over to Charlotte. The northernmost fringe from Hurricane Idalia, keeping its hurricane status as it crosses Georgia into South Carolina. Some light rain showers possible for us. Thunderstorms possible, 58 degrees. Mostly sunny Thursday, high 82. Friday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Beefy Crunch Burrito is back at Taco Bell, thanks to rewards members who voted for it on the Taco Bell app. Filled with seasoned beef and flamin' hot Fritos, it's as crunchy and beefy as it sounds, and as delicious as a vote winner should be. Get one today at participating Taco Bell locations while supplies last.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Dynasty the King.
What's good, y'all? It's your main man, Michael Smith, and it's my pleasure to present to you the Dynasty Exchange, hosted by my first-round rookie picks, Davis, Dylan, and Josh. It's the go-to fantasy football podcast and the definitive Dynasty show for the most devoted of diehards, the guys like me who can't stay off Sleeper and KTC. Listen to Michael Smith Presents the Dynasty Exchange on the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow back on the practice field today for the first time since his right calf strain more than a month ago. Burrow had the best season of his career last year. Dolphins corner Jalen Ramsey goes on IR, recovering from meniscus surgery. He'll miss at least the first 4 games. Miami GM Chris Greer says there'll be no contract negotiations with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa or defensive lineman Christian Wilkins until after the season. Will the Jets be weighed down by expectations or by the team's recent lack of success? Head coach Robert Saleh says the players are focusing on other things.
Are you doing everything you can to get better? Are you doing everything you can to go to bed better than when you woke up? And that's it. These guys don't care what happened 20 years ago. They're focused in the moment. Obviously, they acknowledge, but it's not their story. Their story is what's about to be written.
Robert Saleh, ESPN has learned the Patriots will re-sign quarterbacks Bailey Zappi and Malik Cunningham to the practice squad. Both were cut on Tuesday.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. You can also join the House of Reprehensibles, just a meager $1.99 a month fee, and you can be a part of the Discord. We have all kinds of chats in the off hours that are highly entertaining.
There's going to be an element when we move to noon in just over a week and a half that if you're a member of the House of Reprehensibles, you're going to get to see it. Tell you more about that.
That's right.
Next week.
That's right. Just trying to give you more incentive to show your love for the Sportsocracy here. And don't forget, sign up for the Battle for the Belt as well. The clock is ticking on this one.
Yes. We have said this so many times that if you don't get in, I don't want to hear it. Now, there is a weekly way to play that we will outline for you next week as well. We're not trying to overload you with all of the things. Look, for 2 people that do this show by ourselves, we do more than the vast majority of people that do this job.
Play daily fantasy football with us each and every week of the NFL season. There are 2 games that you can get in on. It all runs through DraftKings, and we've got the standard contest, which is just your usual DFS stuff. Hopefully you can beat Michael Meadows because he just beat the snot out of all of us last year.
Oh, and he talked enough smoke while he was here on Monday.
He gonna catch it.
I have a burr in my bonnet.
Jeremy thought there was a chance that belt was going to be his to keep at the end of the year, and
he
Michael
brought
Meadows,
back Belty, and I in my head all I was reunited. It feels so good. I kept thinking it in my head, and then I had to give it back.
Michael Meadows took it away from him, so we've got 2 belts on the line this year. Since Jeremy didn't get to win one last year, he had to come up with another contest that he could possibly win. The first one is the standard contest, and the second one is the new Eliminator Challenge, where you can only use a guy 3 times in the season. Battle for the Belt links can all be found on the front page of the Sportsocracy.com, also in the description of our YouTube videos. Now, Jeremy, college football begins in earnest tomorrow night.
Yes, with Florida, with the Gators getting put on a grill and eaten.
And just smoked by Utah.
It's going to be ugly. Oh, it's going to be ugly. And my lifelong Florida State self is just going to sit back and watch it like, that's a shame.
Opening week of the college football season, and I wonder who is your make or break this year in college football? What's the one entity, coach, player, whoever that you look at and go, it's time for you to put up or shut up?
Ryan Day.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I can't believe we actually agree on something.
Ryan Day, I mean, other than having a Just for Men beard that is Cheskis.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I've ever seen that even is in its ballpark is Sam Hartman, who I'm pretty sure is 42 years old. Ryan Day was born on third base and keeps acting like he hit a triple.
Mm-hmm.
You have a roster that is ridiculously talented, and yet you seem to lose every big game you play. I'm not saying he's got to win a national title.
Mm-hmm.
You need to win one of these big games, and I got news for you. They got 3 of them this year at minimum.
Yep. You need to
because if you FAFO against Notre Dame, you will fall, and you will quickly foe. Because I'm telling you right now, people say I'm overreacting to what I saw in week 1 from Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
No, I am not. And Tank can vouch for this. I said that all off season long. You have a quarterback now. Straight up, you have a quarterback now that is real, real good.
Yes.
And if Ohio State sleepwalks into that game, you will catch an L because they played with you last year.
Hartman is an incredibly accurate quarterback. He's got the arm. He can make the throws. And now he's smarter than everyone else. Right? This is the Kenny Pickett rule. When a guy's older and has way more experience than everybody else that he's going up against, seems to be able to do more. Make the offense work just a little bit better to give you that edge.
And look, he's not a bad coach, and he's a fantastic recruiter. But at some point, when you have this much talent, you've got to win one of these big games.
But he's won big games.
Well, you've been smoked by Michigan 2 years in a row.
And yes, we know that. We know that they got in the college football playoff last year. I mean, they were a field goal away from upsetting the number one team in the country.
That and $2.50 of good shit Coke.
I mean, it sounds crazy to look at his record and go, the guy who's lost 5 games in the last 4 years is going to be on the hot seat of some kind.
Adam Black asked in the YouTube comments, if he loses to Michigan again, does he get fired?
No.
Yes. I disagree with you vehemently. You don't understand. All right? Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If Carolina and Duke played one time every year in basketball,
mm-hmm.
and you had a coach that was going, I don't know, 22-8, goes into the tournament, gets beat in the Sweet 16 every year, but he gets slaughtered by Duke every year, how long does that guy last?
Not long.
There you go. Well, you're to that point with Ryan Day. This is still one of the most attractive jobs. You say no, and I wouldn't say this at any other school really in America.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how hard we were on Jim Harbaugh? He took over a dumpster fire. Michigan was not good.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of Brady Hoke and Rich Rod.
Yep.
He showed up, smoked Ohio State 2 years in a row. You can lose that game. You can't get embarrassed, and they've been embarrassed twice. He gets embarrassed again, that'll be the last time you ever see him wearing Buckeye, crimson, and gray. I promise you. They will not stand for that.
Yeah, I don't see it that way. If that's the only game that
you're
you're
a
losing,
participation trophy guy.
No, I'm not a participant. Stop it with that crap.
You are a participation trophy guy.
No,
take
I'm
it
not.
out of this conversation. You are totally a participation trophy guy.
No, sir. Ryan Day, as long as he still has this team winning 10 games every year and he loses that one, you think he gets fired? He's still making the college football playoff because, he just made one last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets fired if he loses to Michigan for a third year in a row.
I didn't say he loses to them. I said you get housed again, and you could very easily be in trouble.
Okay,
you said always. Let me say this a different way and see if maybe it resonates with you.
Okay.
You said always winning 10 games every year. Name me the Ohio State coach that didn't.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, they all have.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Tressel did. Urban Meyer did.
And none of them
Ryan
ever
Day
came
is.
close to getting fired. Of course, none of them lost 3 in a row to Michigan, I don't think. But still,
Well, Jim Tressel didn't really get the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them were losing to Michigan, though. That's the point that you're missing is in the last 25 years of this rivalry, Ohio State's been housed 3 times. 2 of them in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That changes things. They haven't had a guy that didn't win 10 games consistently since John Cooper, of which I still don't understand how he survived there as long as he did. But I have another one that to me is on Ryan Day's level.
Okay.
And it's a guy that you're going to say I'm letting my personal grievances eschew me.
Okay.
Jimbo Fisher.
No, you're not. He's done.
I want to draw a comparison because I didn't think about this until I saw the name and I really had a minute to marinate on it. Do you know the new offensive coordinator at Texas A&M is?
I couldn't tell you.
It's Bobby Petrino.
Oh yeah.
Can we be really honest with you about the similarities between those two?
Okay.
They're the same coach. The only difference is Bobby Petrino never got a job that was like Florida State. But historically, they're the same guy. Every team you take over atrophies year over year over year. You alienate yourself from people year over year over year. Same guy. One of them is just the highest paid coach in college football. But I'm telling you, for a program that has as lofty of an aspirations as they do, you're 23rd in one poll, 25th in the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at that schedule. A lot of people are, this is going to be a comeback year. Well, is it? Is it, though? Because you have to play at Tennessee, don't like your chances. You have to play at LSU, don't like your chances. Have to play at Ole Miss, don't like your chances. And I didn't even mention Alabama or Miami.
Well, obviously you lose all those games, you're fired. LMNO fired.
I don't disagree.
But see, that's the difference for me between Jimbo Fisher, he was mine. Like, you got to win. You got to lose no fewer than 2 games this year to survive. Right? You had the number 1 recruiting class in the country last year, and most of those guys aren't even on the team anymore. That's your fault.
You've got to be in that ballpark. I don't think you can hold losing at LSU and Death Valley against them because I'll be honest with you, LSU's already won that game, and it doesn't kick off for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. And Alabama. Those are the 2. I'll give you those.
Alabama's in College Station.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because you're going to lose. If what you just said is true, he's already doomed anyway.
And I kind of think he is because he has not lived up to expectations.
I'm not going to say
with this.
Wrong.
He came in and they gave him the $20 billion or whatever his damn contract was. They gave him all the money in the world and said, we're going to put the full weight of this booster club behind you, and we're going to go out and get the guys. And they did. Remember all the discussion last year? That Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher swapping barbs in the media because Nick Saban said that they had bought their number 1 recruiting class and all that kind of stuff. You can't bring in top recruiting classes like that and go 5-7 or 8-4 or 9-5 or whatever. You can't. I know that's too many games, so don't even at me.
Yeah, that math didn't.
No atting me. Okay.
Don't say modern phrases.
You cannot continue to go down this path and keep your job.
Well,
they will buy you out. They will kick you out of town.
He also just runs. He rubs people the wrong way. Look, I'm. A lot of people listen to this show know this. Florida State booster. His name is almost an obscenity at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about the Jimbo era. Yeah, we won a national title, and we love that title. It is not looked at the same way that the two Bobby titles are. 93, 2000, nope, those are great.
Mm-hmm.
Love those.
Mm-hmm.
Those are as good as they come. 2015, yeah, that was good. Loved that. Didn't love that. You got Jameis Winston doing the crab leg bootleg and Jimbo Fisher. Yeah, I'm Seacrest out. They're just different. And Texas A&M thought, I'll be honest with you, when the report came out that Texas A&M was wooing him,
mm-hmm.
all of us almost universally went, go.
Take him.
Please go.
Yeah.
Please go. And I fell for Willie Taggart. That lasted 30 game minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was over.
I'll still never forget that day.
That was
the Boise State game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were up like 28-3 or something like that. We're back! And
nope.
They gave up 3 touchdowns in my drive from here to the social on Tunnel Road.
I agree with you on Jimbo Fisher. Do not agree with you on Ryan Day, but I will agree with you on Jimbo Fisher because the deck is stacked against him.
There's another one, though. We got to take a commercial break. This one hits a little closer to home.
Ooh.
And I don't even think it's debatable.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic this time ago, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Broadway Street and 240. 26 westbound slope between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slope between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Merriman Avenue northbound approaching Edgewood Road is slow. Again, Merriman Avenue northbound delays between Hillcrest Road and New Stock Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Beefy Crunch Burrito is back at Taco Bell, thanks to rewards members who voted for it on the Taco Bell app. Filled with seasoned beef and flamin' hot Fritos, it's as crunchy and beefy as it sounds, and as delicious as a vote winner should be. Get one today at participating Taco Bell locations while supplies last.
In a world where thrills never stop, $1 million is on the line, and your fate is decided every 4 minutes by a bunch of random numbers with
Dan, I think Keno's exciting enough without you doing the voice.
But my talents add a little something, right?
I guess.
Carolina Keno, $1 million thrills every 4 minutes.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win. A price range from 1 in 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Join the 115th Canton Labor Day Festival, September 3rd and 4th at noon in Sorrells Park. Join in on the fun with a Kids Fun Zone, a car show, and music with Sammy Kershaw on Sunday. And Balsam Range on Monday. Canton Labor Day Parade starts at 10 a.m. Monday. Learn more at CantonLaborDay.com. Presented by Champion Credit Union with supporting sponsors Ingles Markets, McGill Associates, NCSmokies.com. For more info, go to CantonLaborDay.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Are Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
It is ESPN Asheville. It's the Sportsocracy. You're listening to us everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. College football season is already underway, but you probably didn't watch much of this past weekend.
Unless you're like me and you watched way more of it than you should have.
Yeah. Coming up tomorrow night, though, ACC action will begin. NC State taking on UConn. You got Wake Forest taking on Elon. You going to throw out a banger on Wake and Elon tomorrow?
No.
Let's do it. Let's get real degenerate on a Thursday.
Well, I mean, you got to find somewhere to wager that because most sports books look at that and go, we can't set that number right now.
Who is under the most pressure this year in college football, though? We've already talked about Ryan Day. His team never loses more than 2 games in a season, but you can't keep losing to Michigan. At least that's Jeremy's thought, is that if he loses to Michigan again, gets embarrassed by Michigan again, then Ohio State is going to feel the pressure to make a move. Jimbo Fisher, we're both on board. I think he's already sunk. I don't think there's anything that they can do this year to save his job. Because I think
you would have to overachieve as much as you have underachieved.
Yeah. I think the bar's at 2.5 games. You lose 3 games, you're done.
I don't know. They have 9-3 is about the expectation. So you could sell that as, see, we're going the right direction.
Maybe. Improved from a 5-7 year. But, yeah, you lose any more than that, and I think he's toast. You said you have another one that's close to home that is a make-or-break year for one entity in college football. What is this entity?
Mack Brown.
Okay, explain.
You came in with all this gusto about how you're bringing the program back. Yep. I don't know what you thought you were bringing it back from because, fun question, in my lifetime, how many 10-win seasons does Carolina have as a football program?
4.
That's exactly right. And Mack Brown was 3 of them the first time.
Yep.
He's none of them the second time. So you've killed the recruiting trail. You've had now 2 NFL quarterbacks and on the backside of a third in Trubisky that one went in the top 5. I think Drake May's probably going to go in the top 5, and Sam Howell's going to show you pretty quickly why he probably should have. You still hadn't won more than 5 games. More than 9 games, excuse me. Mm-hmm. You've lost at least 4 games in every year of his tenure.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the worst team you've had. And I don't think it's really all that close. So if you come in and go 7-6, like you did in the first year, does that not take every ounce of wind out of the sails of North Carolina football?
I would think so. I would think, but to me, that's a terrible year. To me, that's worst-case scenario. That this team loses
worst
that many
case
games.
Scenario.
That's worst case scenario.
Okay. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Okay.
They play South Carolina in the Dukes Mayo Bowl this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's very losable.
It is.
As a matter of fact, they're a dog.
Are they really?
Yes.
By 2?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, it shouldn't be by much.
Appalachian State the next week. They owe you one, but I don't think they have the ability.
Mm-mm.
You go at Pittsburgh. You can lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. Duke. You can lose that game. Easily. You can lose the Miami game. That's at home. At Clemson, you're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
At NC State. Every game I just said is losable. I mean, yeah, you'll beat Virginia because Virginia's awful. You'll beat Georgia Tech and Campbell because you showed up and put your uniform on the right direction. Minnesota is not as easy as it's going to be made out to be, especially if they struggle with Nebraska tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a path out here.
A path out for Mac?
Yes. You're getting ready to lose your all-world quarterback. I mean, I've seen you do this for 5 years. You've recruited really, really well. It hasn't really translated on the field.
No, it hasn't.
You've been exactly what Carolina is.
Have they been better? I mean, I feel like they've been better than what they have been.
They were better than they were under Larry Fedora, except for the fact he did have an 11-win season. Mac did not.
Yeah, but so...
Well, I mean, look, 7-6, 8-4, 6-7, 9-5. That's the definition of Carolina football.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what you've been for the better part of the last 40 years.
And
you came in saying, no, it's going to be different than that. No, it's really not. I mean, yeah, your quarterback play has been good, but the results haven't been there.
The end results haven't been better, but I don't know. I mean, I look at these teams and I go, we've known the problems. We've known that there's a defensive problem.
You finished in the top 25 one time in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. It's all you could hope for, right? As a Carolina fan?
I don't know. With all the bluster of how we're the next great team in the ACC because Mac Brown's recruiting so well and he's got this fence around North Carolina and nobody gets out. Okay, it looks really similar to me. And now I think you've got another big bad wolf. It's not just Clemson anymore. Now you got Florida State's back.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen this. These two schools will go right in your backyard and pick out whatever player they want. When those two are humming, they're impossible to stop. Well, they are now.
I would agree.
So this is your last year with Drake May. I refuse to believe that it's going to get better without him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a year that, to me, Mac has to overachieve. If he doesn't, it's going to get loud.
It might get loud, but I think I don't see a path where he gets fired. They're not going to do that.
No, but there could be a meeting behind closed doors of
maybe it's time.
Mac, it's time.
Yeah, maybe it's time for you to step away from the game. And I could fully see them having those conversations, and I think those conversations have already been had. I think Max probably had that conversation with the administration. He's 72 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer do you expect him to do this? How much longer do you expect him to play CEO? And I've talked to people within the organization, within the school, who have said, the way Mac runs his programs, if we're winning, he could do this till he's 80. Because he's not hands-on as much. He's not down in the trenches with the guys. He's more of the CEO. He will hand down the responsibility to others. He'll delegate as need be, and we'll see where that goes. I can't think of a possible ending where this ends with Mac Brown, his head being on a chopping block, so to speak.
Well, to me, the chopping block is not coming for really anybody that's on the high side. I do believe that Ryan Day could get there. Mm-hmm. Because Ohio State expects national titles.
Right.
For better or worse, that's where they expect to be. And they really don't expect to get embarrassed by the rival. Which brings me to another name that I wrote down when you asked me this question before the show.
Okay.
And when I say this name, you're going to make a face. I have a funny feeling.
Okay.
Dabo Swinney.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's the face. That seems ridiculous to me.
Seems it.
Mm-hmm.
You broke their expectations. Fact or fiction?
I mean, fact. They expect to be one-loss team every year now.
Mm-hmm. And they're not. They're not going to be this year either. So now you've brought in Garrett Riley, and, that fixes the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now we're going to be prodigious. Okay, what happens when you struggle with Duke in Durham this week? Because I think you're going to. I'm not saying they're going to beat you.
Because
this game's going to be close.
Because the defense
way longer than you want it to be.
Because the defense.
No, because Duke is historically undervalued. In terms of the entire time I've been doing this, I don't think I've ever seen a team that is catching as much shade as good as they were last year. They lost virtually nothing.
I'll agree with you.
And yet, I almost feel like we're just treating last year like a blip year.
Well, I mean, they were a 9-win team last year.
They were.
Nobody saw that coming.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
And I don't think anybody saw Riley Leonard coming.
And that's what I'm saying. Riley Leonard's back, and now and I phrased that poorly, this is one of the biggest just completely ignoring a team that was really good last year stories that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you start with that. You play Florida State September 23rd. That's not going to be fun at the very least. And it's in Death Valley. You've also got to play Notre Dame, North Carolina, and South Carolina. What happens if you lose 3 of those? And that's, I know Clemson fans are going, you're just a Florida State homer. It's possible you lose this week. I'm not picking you to do it.
Right.
It's very possible.
Very possible.
They have a better quarterback than you do. Fact or fiction?
I don't agree.
Riley Leonard could be a first-round pick in the NFL draft. Cade Klubnik could be DJ Uiagalelei.
He could.
You've seen him 2 times, and one of them was against that dog water defense that Carolina chucked out there last year. Yeah, he went up against Tennessee, and all of a sudden, man, he looked real DJ Uiagalelei to me. What happens if that guy comes out? All this hubris all offseason long, and you come out and struggle with Duke, who's coached by Mike Elko, who's a really good defensive coach. Get boat raced at home by Florida State, and trust me, that's on the table. Get beat by Notre Dame again. You're telling me Clemson fans that I've been telling this to for the better part of 8 years, enjoy it while it lasts because it don't last forever. And you know a bunch of them yourself.
Sure.
You're telling me those people aren't going to go, well, maybe it's Dabo. They became delusional, and you know it as well as I do. You just don't want to say it out loud.
No. I know, and I agree with you absolutely because now they believe year in and year out they should be that team. That team that goes undefeated or one loss in the ACC would roll through the ACC championship like they did last year, and then make the college football playoff, which they did not, and they didn't deserve to last year.
Nope. And when they don't this year, this will be the 4th year in a row that you didn't. And in my opinion, it'll be the 3rd year in a row that you didn't even really sniff it. You weren't even close.
The question becomes, is there the guy? When you're talking about firing a legend, and yes, Dabo falls into that scenario. Yes, he does.
Okay.
Really?
He's a Clemson legend, yeah. He is the legend of Clemson, I'll give you that. Oh, you said legend. All right, let's say these names together and tell me which one of them doesn't exactly fit. Dabo Swinney, Bobby Bowden, Joe Paterno. One of those things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Okay, so that's where we're going.
How many national titles
Mount
you
Rushmore for legend.
You said legend. That's what that word means to me.
I'm going owned the ACC for a decade and won 2 national titles. That's legendary
status. Owned the ACC for 6 years, but nice try. Yeah, owned the ACC for 6 years. One of those years that he owned it, Florida State was national champion. So,
and if they beat y'all this year, then they will be 7 years that they've ruled the ACC. I get what you're saying. Okay, maybe a decade was a little too far, but not by much.
Yeah, they've won 10 games 10 years in a row.
Who are you going to replace him with?
But you're missing the point. You're asking a rational thing. We've already discussed this is not a rational fan base at this point. This is the reason I've been saying this for what feels like years. You do realize that you don't know the good old days are ending until the good old days have been ended for quite some time. You go 4 years where you don't even really sniff the playoff landscape. I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, I can't get down with you on that.
I'm telling you this from I've been a member of a fan base just like this. There were people talking about Bobby Bowden 2 years after he won a national title. When you get in this mindset of we're going to be good every year and then you're not, it can escalate so fast.
Sure.
And the Garrett Riley thing bought him a little space because he could blame it on Venables being gone. He could blame it on the turnover on the offensive side because he lost 2 head coaches off that staff. The Garrett Riley thing doesn't work, and I firmly believe it's not going to. It's going to get loud.
Because why? That only worked in the Big 12?
Because he's not as good a coach as people make him out to be. People hear Riley, they think Lincoln. He ain't Lincoln. All right, if you think you're getting Lincoln Riley, this would be like ordering a diamond on Wish and you get a plastic gemstone. Like, oh, that didn't end well for me. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I'm just go back and watch that national title game again and really tell me how good that offense is.
Yeah. People talking is one thing. People are always going to talk. Hell, people talk trash about great coaches all the time when something goes wrong. Hell, remember Tar Heel fans when Roy Williams had a couple of blip years? They couldn't bash him hard enough. Was that ever going to happen? Were they ever going to fire him? No. And I think Dabo's in the same situation because what you're going to get out of that, you're not going to be able to replace him. You're not going to be able to stay on that level.
No, I don't agree with you.
Really?
No, Clemson would be able to go get whoever. There is a boatload of money in that program right now. There's a lot of people in the chat saying, oh, Dabo will never be on the hot seat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we said that about Bobby Bowden too. Frankly, name me the legend that we didn't say that about at some point that it didn't get real loud.
Yeah, but those guys were 80 years old at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Dabo's not.
It wasn't just when they were 80, and I'm speaking specifically from experience with Bobby Bowden. It got loud in the 90s when they just weren't winning national titles because they were dump trucking everybody in the ACC. There were people at Florida State that went, Bobby's game's passed him by.
Oh, my God.
He was in his 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like I'm telling you, they're
like I said, people can talk all they want to, but when it comes down to an organization having to make a decision, they're never getting rid of Dabo Swinney.
And I'm not necessarily saying that they would go to that they would push to fire Dabo. I'm just saying the narrative on Dabo Swinney can change really, really fast.
Yes
I'm talking another year or two.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
especially if there's a big bad bear on this block, and I'm telling you, you can call me a homer if you want to.
I mean, I hope you're right, but all your guys are going to be gone in a year, right? You're going to lose 70% of that team or 60% of that team with the transfers and stuff that came in?
A lot of the transfers were juniors.
Oh, were they? Okay.
But weird. Yeah, you just lather up, did it again.
You could.
They also have the number 6 recruiting class in the country. So
that works.
I don't think it's just going to fall off the cliff that a lot of other people do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are building this like it's Florida State's make or break year. From experience.
Could be.
Let them have 1-11 in 1 year and see what happens on the other side.
Oh, no doubt.
Florida State had a cool that Miami had in the 80s, and they can do it again.
And I don't doubt that at all. But if it doesn't go your way this year, you fall short, you don't win the ACC, does that do as much for you? They're going to get people to come?
There are a lot of people that treat Dabo Swinney like he's infallible.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people like me that are in the sport that look at him and go, man, you are the luckiest dude on the planet Earth. You slid into Clemson, a job that they didn't want to give you in the first place, OBT dubs.
Mm-hmm.
And the ACC's been god-awful for the vast majority of it. Now, he could prove me wrong. You can attest to this. I've said this the whole time. Dabo Swinney's an elite recruiter. I do not think he's an elite coach, and I never have. He recruits and he hires really well. I could make the same argument for a lot of coaches historically, but I don't think people understand just how irrational good fan bases are. Josh D. Penn's in our YouTube chat. Oklahoma. You want a really good example of this? Watch Oklahoma. Brent Venables. Oh, the chosen one, the forgotten son has come back to go 8-4 again. Watch how loud that gets. Just telling you. Fan short for fanatic, and fanatics are not rational.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
On the fringe of some tropical moisture tonight, there are flood watches up as close by as Greenville, South Carolina, and over to Charlotte. The northernmost fringe from Hurricane Idalia, keeping its hurricane status as it crosses Georgia into South Carolina. Some light rain showers possible for us. Thunderstorms possible, 58 degrees. Mostly sunny Thursday, high 82. Friday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is time to go 240 westbound between Shuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound delays between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and Long Shoals Road. Future 26 eastbound slow between Elk Mountain Road and 240. Future 26 westbound slow between Broadway Street and Elk Mountain Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow due to an accident. Sweden Creek Road southbound slow approaching Mills Gap Road. Merriman Avenue northbound approaching Edgewood Road is slow. Again, Merriman Avenue northbound slow between Hillcrest Road and New Stock Road. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Win your way to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival and $1,000.
Man, that is great.
You'll be there.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Having the time of your life is more rewarding than ever when you visit any MGM Rewards destination nationwide. Dine, stay, play, and earn on all of it. Details at MGMRewards.com. Subject to earning and redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases and in certain states.
Score big on sleep and savings during Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable beds and get a $300 instant gift, good towards pillows and more.
Clorox disinfecting wipes help clean thousands of life's messes, like mess number 5, food delivery grease spots on the kitchen counter.
Pad thai, oh my.
And mess number 41, coffee grounds that miss the filter.
Let's try this again.
And mess number 12, stepping directly into that deceivingly wet patch of grass.
Sorry, dude.
Clorox disinfecting wipes are there for you for thousands of life's messes and kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria when used as directed. Shop now at Clorox.com. Clorox, start clean.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it's time to get weird. And let's go for a sports story. When you can make a weird story and a sports story come together, it's just perfect. What was that chef's kiss thing you do? Yeah, that thing. The shooting at it's not Comiskey Park anymore. It's something guaranteed rate field or something in Chicago.
Whatever they call where the White Sox play.
Where the White Sox play. The shooting that happened on Friday night. We now have the details on how this happened.
We're getting some deets, and believe some people withheld some information when this was when it first happened.
So apparently, the story, if you haven't heard it by now, 2 women suffered gunshot wounds at the game in Chicago last Friday against the Oakland A's. It happened in the 4th inning of the game where there was a gunshot. Nobody really heard it. Nobody could really say that they heard a gunshot, but somehow these 2 women ended up with gunshot wounds. One was a 42-year-old woman, the other one 26 years old. One got grazed by a bullet on her stomach. The other one got shot directly in the leg. And you're trying to figure out, how did this happen?
It's a weird trajectory of a bullet.
Did somebody shoot from another part of the ballpark and accidentally hit these two women? Was it a bullet ricochet from outside the stadium? Because God knows there's 7 drive-bys during every Chicago White Sox game.
Oh, yeah. The sound of gunfire in Chicago, that's an alarm for most people.
No.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Nice. Nobody notices.
Go to sleep, little bang, bang.
Now, the police the other day came out, the latest update that we gave you was that the police came out and said that they had determined that the shots were fired, or the gun was fired inside the stadium, that it did not happen from an outside bullet. What we now find out is how the gun got into the stadium and how it was discharged. So the gun came in with, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, the larger of the two women. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just guessing because it was hidden in the rolls of her belly fat. I'm not making that up. That's police
from the AP story.
Says so.
Mm-hmm.
This woman was hiding the gun in her belly roll, in her fat rolls, and it got through security. Now, how you got that through security, I don't know.
Patrick Holt in the YouTube comment said, a witness said that when the woman walked through the metal detector, it went off, and she said, I'm all right, and kept walking, and nobody stopped her.
Well, there you go.
I mean, in Chicago, I don't think you're legally allowed to. It's fine. You're not supposed to do it, but what are we going to do? Arrest you?
Just let him go.
I don't even think our cops carry handcuffs at this point.
Now, there was not an argument. This woman did not brandish the pistol at any point, but somehow she shot herself. It went off in her belly fat. Like, I don't know if she was rubbing the grease off of the corn dog or what.
Sportsocracy ESPN.
But Lizzo over here done pulled the trigger and shot her friend or sister or daughter or whoever that was she was with. And I want nothing more than to see some footage of this. I wish we had some CCTV footage.
I don't know how to respond. I had jokes lined up for this, and you just nope. I think you covered it.
Covered it.
I don't even want to tell my story.
Don't do crimes. Don't be weird. And maybe, I don't know. Never mind.
Hey, the entire city of Chicago. You know how you stop these crimes from happening? Stop looking at criminals and just going, boop. No. I don't really think that's a deterrent to crime. My story is a lot less whatever that was. It's about Keegan Bradley. You know Keegan Bradley, the golfer. He was up for the U.S. Ryder Cup team. He's played on the Ryder Cup before, played in 2012. Mm-hmm. A lot of people thought he deserved to be on the team, possibly ahead of Justin Thomas, who actually made it. Well, a story came out today this is a level of superstitious that I don't think I've ever seen before. He hasn't unpacked his suitcase from 2012 because they didn't win. And he won't let himself unpack it until he does win one.
Himself?
Oh. He has to be on the team.
Well, that's a problem.
And he's not, which means that their bag is going to stay packed for 4 more years.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's a lot of superstition.
It is. It is quite a lot of superstition, and man, that was my favorite shirt too. Like, that's the only thing I could think with. I really want to wear that shirt.
Well, that's what made me laugh.
I looked good on that Sunday of the Ryder Cup.
So that's actually what made me laugh. My father and I went to Charlotte for Jets-Panthers a few weeks ago. I still haven't unpacked that bag. I don't even know where that bag is, if I'm being really honest. I know I brought it in my house. I set it somewhere, and it disappeared.
Well, your house isn't that big.
No, I'm a minimalist.
So how can you not find it?
I mean, it's not like I looked for it, but when I read this story, I went,
where'd that go?
Where did that go? I set it down, and it's not just sitting where I put it.
I mean, to me, that would be the international sign of I have way too much crap.
I don't don't have that. I have a lot of clothes.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of clothes.
I have a lot of clothes.
Yes.
Amy and I have our own walk-in closets. Each. Separate.
That's a lot.
Yeah. She has way more shoes than I do.
Which I would hope. Well, I mean, you're not a shoe guy.
I'm not a shoeman.
You're not the guy that has to go out and have 17 different pairs of Jordans.
No,
to go
I
with
did.
Your outfit.
I did at one point have a pair of shoes that matched every outfit I owned, though. That was in the before times.
I was going to say that doesn't really shock me all that much.
That was in the before times.
Yeah. Before you were destitute?
Yes. Yeah. That was when I wasn't a poor man.
I'm sorry. Okay. Apparently, I went too far with the store with the gun store.
I mean, I thought so.
Sorry. I mean, she's so brave.
You're
in the Sportsocracy.
Sports Tank ESPN.
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound crawling between Airport Road and Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow east of Brevard Road to Long Shoals Road. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Broadway Street and 240. Future 26 westbound delays between Broadway Street continuing to US 2570. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue, north and southbound near Edgewood Road. Delays near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Camp Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
and dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
The Sportsocracy.
You two are just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. This story's not going to go well for the Arizona Cardinals. Ex-Cardinals coach says he was given a burner phone to use with his suspended GM. Former Arizona Cardinals head coach Steve Wilks testified that a team executive gave him a burner phone to communicate with former general manager Steve Keim under orders from Keim and team owner Michael Bidwell during Keim's suspension when he got the DUI several years ago, and he was out for half the season or something like that, and they gave him a burner. They gave Steve Wilks a burner phone to where he could still talk with the GM, and nobody would know about it. The fact that this came down from Michael Bidwell, though, that's the major problem to me.
He's the next one.
He's the next owner that we force out.
We got rid of Daniel Snyder. I mean, look, go back to the report card that came out from the NFLPA that these guys were having to pay for their lunches.
Mm-hmm.
There were exposed floorboards in the weight room. This is not NFL football team behavior. And it really shows itself out on the field. I mean, this team is awful, which you're abiding by a theory of mine. If you're going to be bad, be real, real bad. But this is just dysfunction at like the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes from the owner down. Every single time something comes out about Arizona, you can tie it back to the Bidwells.
Yeah.
That is terrifying to me if I'm a fan of that team. And this is one of those times, and I said this about Daniel Snyder when that got really loud. It's one of those times that it's almost like termites. You see them on the outside of something, you don't realize how deep this is gone until you really start digging into the wood, and you just go, well, this is destroyed. I'm start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that's not where we're at with Arizona. And this might be the one that gets you.
Well, this is the one that definitely the league looks at. And Roger Goodell's sitting in his office right now going, okay, if he hasn't already gotten him on the phone, get me Michael Bidwell on the phone.
Well, I mean, just always remember the thing that got John Gotti was tax fraud.
Right. But who's the chief, right? Roger Goodell is the disciplinary chief. That's the number one thing that he has been criticized for since he took over for Paul Tagliabue, or whoever the hell. Was it Paul Tagliabue? Has it been that long? God. Anyway, he's been all about the discipline. So he suspends your GM, and you find a way to skirt that rule to still put your coach in contact with the GM that he's already suspended. This is not going to go well at all.
Well, I mean, and as you read down the story, basically Steve Wilks voiced his displeasure with this, and Michael Bidwell was irate that they were displeased about this.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells me there's more here. All you got to do is dig a little bit. You're going to find it.
Yep.
So don't be shocked if it gets loud of Arizona's going to need a new owner pretty soon as well.
Yeah, it is.
And it would be the best thing for that franchise by a mile.
Oh, I completely agree with you. They have been forever the poor men on the block, right?
No doubt.
Not having the money to spend and not wanting to spend the money. And it's just been one thing after another with them. Churning through coaches, dysfunction at the highest level. And maybe this is the new target for the league. This will be the new Dan Snyder that we got to get rid of. Jim Irsay may have something to say about that, though. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
On the fringe of some tropical moisture tonight, there are flood watches up as close by as Greenville, South Carolina, and over to Charlotte. The northernmost fringe from Hurricane Idalia, keeping its hurricane status as it crosses Georgia into South Carolina. Some light rain showers possible for us. Thunderstorms possible, 58 degrees. Mostly sunny Thursday, high 82. Friday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound crawling between Airport Road and Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow east of Brevard Road to Long Shoals Road. Future 26 eastbound stop and go between Broadway Street and 240. Future 26 westbound delays between Broadway Street continuing to US 2570. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue, north and southbound near Edgewood Road. Delays near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Camp Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Off.
This is Pretection. Yep, Pretection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Prevention is the best protection. Off, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand, SC Johnson.
Score big on sleep and savings during Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable beds and get a $300 instant gift, good towards pillows and more.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
ESPN's Stephen Holder reports both the Packers and the Dolphins tried to work a trade with the Colts for running back Jonathan Taylor. Our Adam Schefter says a trade could still happen.
The next window to trade him will be before the NFL's cut down day or the trade deadline on Halloween, October 31st. That's the next window to trade him. If the Colts can't get a trade worked out by then, the next window would be in the offseason.
Adam Schefter on NFL Live. ESPN's Pete Thamel reports Utah quarterback Cam Rising is not expected to play tomorrow night's opener against Florida. Rising is recovering from a torn ACL in the Rose Bowl. LSU running back John Emery will miss the season opener against Florida State in Orlando Sunday. No reason given by head coach Brian Kelly. Second-round winners today at the U.S. Open include Novak Djokovic and Iga Swiatek. Live coverage continuing right now on ESPN and ESPN+.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Now your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword music to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's music to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. And we are heard live everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400 locally. And, of course, you can watch us everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. And it's the top of the third hour of the program. It's daily draft time. And we're okay. Patrick, you've done it. You are the godfather, founding father of the House of Reprehensibles here at the Sportsocracy. So we give the people what they want. He wants sandwiches. He's
wanted
draft.
Sandwiches.
He's asked for breakfast
moons.
sandwiches 18 times in the last 2 weeks, and we haven't done breakfast sandwiches. And now he's thrown out just regular sandwiches. So I guess today that's going to have to be, because we're going full on to football starting tomorrow. So
yes.
This may be the last chance that we get to do a foodocracy draft for a while. So away we go. Best sandwiches. And is this like specific sandwiches from a store, or is this like style of sandwiches?
Or I mean, if it's from a specific store, then mine's going to be 6 Firehouse sandwiches. And
Firehouse is now your favorite?
Or I feel like you switched. I don't know. I love them, but you know what we really need? One of them to sponsor this show so I can choose.
I was going to say, I feel like your sub sandwich go-to changes from month to month.
Because they're so delicious in different ways.
It's true.
Firehouse steams the bread. It's unbelievably good.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey Mike's has Mike's Way.
Yep.
Frankly, we need to find a way to get them to join together into one building that's right down the street. And I will never eat anything else.
He'll never go to another
I could
store.
eat a sandwich every day of my life, and I would be just fine.
Well, see, that's the brilliance.
I also just realized I didn't eat lunch, which means this segment is going to be the fattest scale in this segment on my side of the desk is going to be way higher.
See, that's the thing about sandwiches. You can do sandwiches so many different ways. You can put so many different things on sandwiches that, yes, you can do sandwiches every day. It's not the healthiest of ways to go.
Mike's Firehouse from Jersey. Boom. Put them in the same building. I swear to God, I'll eat there every day for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. Corey Dayharsh, excuse me. Silver Ball subs. End of message.
I had that the other day.
Over here in West Asheville.
It's very good.
Yeah. I heard they've changed their bread now, and
they change everything like every day. I walk in there and just go, it's a new place. Every time I order there.
Yep. All right, so best sandwiches. Away we go. Jeremy, you have the number one pick because I had it yesterday.
So all right, so we're going sandwich types, right?
We're going sandwich types. So give it your best shot for the A number one type of sandwich.
Well, I mean, I feel like I have to go pretty vague here off the jump.
Okay.
Because there are many kinds of wonderful sandwich, but there is an original that goes with everything. And it has a million different iterations.
Mm-hmm.
It is the grilled cheese. Grilled cheese sandwich is fantastic. You can throw meat in it. You can throw tomatoes in it. You can dump it in tomato soup. You can dunk it in chili. You can have it with vegetable soup. It is the Julian Edelman of sandwiches, and it deserves to be number one.
Okay. I mean, I see what you did there. Grilled cheese sandwiches are awesome.
Awesome.
And the more cheese you put in them, the better. The more different kinds of cheese you put in them, the better.
Yeah. Like 6.
How do you cook your grilled cheese sandwich? What do you put on the outside of it?
I put butter on the outside, mayonnaise on the inside.
See, you go both. You go just full on cholesterol heart attack.
Fatus. Yeah. I've already said this.
Okay. All right. I mean, because I know I've known people who have done it both ways. I mean, to me, you put anything on the outside of it other than butter, and you're a weird man. But I have seen people do it with mayonnaise, and it tastes fine. It adds a little bit of a different flavor, but I'll be honest with you, I've never been able to personally perfect that technique.
You want to go stranger sandwich? Just go mayonnaise on the outside, butter on the inside. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Because then it's almost like it's almost like your sandwich is confused, and it's just wonderful.
I would not recommend that. But you do you, man. You do you.
Also, grilled chicken. Make it with mayonnaise. Trust me.
Okay. Grilled cheese goes number one. It's the most basic of the sandwiches, but it's the most classic.
It is so good.
Of the sandwiches.
I love a grilled cheese sandwich.
I was just really not expecting that to be number one.
Really?
Yeah. Because to me, the perfect sandwich.
You're going to say something I hate here. I already know it.
No. You could put whatever you want on it. As long as it's got an assortment of meats and vegetables on it, it's perfect. And it's the Italian sub. Just with the salami and the capicola and all of the cold cut meats on there, and then you can just pile it high. And yes, my all-time favorite sandwich from a sandwich shop is Jersey Mike's Original 13 Mike's Way with mayonnaise. Add banana peppers and the cherry pepper relish. It's the perfect sandwich, and you cannot go wrong with it.
So you're going with just the standard
I'm just going Italian
sandwich.
sub.
So you said I went basic, and you just went ham sandwich. Okay. You went super ham sandwich with all of its little friends, but okay.
Mm-hmm. You went with cheese.
Yeah.
That a 4-year-old can make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Weird. You're weird.
It's awesome. It's versatile. Goes with anything.
You're weird. I've already won this. I don't even have to take anything else. I'm gonna do that Jeremy thing. I've already won, so I can just take peanut butter and jelly for the next 4 rounds, and I've already won this thing.
You should take peanut butter and jelly so that I don't have to.
I don't need to. Number 2 is.
Don't you though?
Number 2.
I did have one. I know what it tastes like. I might do it just being a jerk.
Hey, maybe you will. Good luck with that. You can add that to your grilled cheese sandwich. We'll put a little note in there from your mommy. You could just not. You could trade your sandwiches at the lunch table.
Did that feel good? The first time you've ever been able to talk smack to me without the fear of being smacked?
Philly cheesesteak is number 2. You can do it with you should always do it with the Cheese Whiz. You always get it with the Whiz. But you can do it with other cheeses as well. But the Philly cheesesteak is phenomenal. You get it with onions and peppers. You can get it with just the meat and the cheese. But you can't go wrong.
It's a very formidable sandwich. I have no problem with it. I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm.
And now I guarantee you, and I knew you were going to do this, you let me back in it, even though I think I took the obvious number 1. I'm going to make 2 selections that rhyme with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Cuban, Reuben.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. All right. You clawed your way back to relevancy.
Mm-hmm.
But you're like...
Because I took
your
like
sandwich. Clemson relevant at this point.
Oh, look at you. Things like this might be the last day I'm ever on air, so it might as well make them laugh.
After that last weird story I told, I don't know how much longer this is going to last.
It'll last a long time for me. You may have a very odd interaction tomorrow.
Okay. So
you
went
they're
Cuban
phenomenal.
And I don't disagree. Because they were both next on my list, and I didn't think that I didn't know that I would have to take Reuben, because that's like a specialty sandwich that not everybody digs, with the sauerkraut and the Thousand Island dressing or the Russian dressing, however you want it.
How well do you know me? I would put Thousand Island on my coffee cup and eat it.
Sure.
So.
But it's usually the sauerkraut that turns people away. And if you're not into the Reuben, then you're into the Rachel.
The what?
Yep. The Rachel.
Is that a Reuben without the sauerkraut on it?
That's turkey and lettuce, I think.
I go light sauerkraut. That's the only way I will eat sauerkraut.
Mm.
The Cuban is just it's a warm, basically it's his sandwich warm with mustard on it, which is...
And pickles.
And I'm telling you, do not go cheap on the pickle. I will fight you aggressively.
Yep. And the way I like to make my Reuben sandwiches is to mix the dressing with the sauerkraut. And it takes away some of the bitterness of the sauerkraut. Just if you're making them at home at any point, it might be the way that you would go.
I think it's funny that our chat rate quadruples every time we talk about food things.
It is strange. It is strange. You went super simple with the grilled cheese. Mm-hmm. And then, yes, you bounced back with the hot sandwiches here, with the Reuben and the Cuban. So I got to give you props on that. You did leave me one simple sandwich, but it is an all-timer, and it's the BLT. The bacon, lettuce, tomato.
I feel like you just gave me 7 points back.
And actually, it's the BBLT. I mean, because nobody just goes bacon. It's bacon, lettuce, bacon, tomato, bacon.
I feel like you just gave me 7 points back.
What do you mean?
Because your sandwich is the basic. That's why I took grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And I see what you did there, because you could call a lot of things a BLT because it starts with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what I did with grilled cheese. I get it. But that means I get 2 that I love a lot.
That you love a lot.
Because I had 3.
Okay. Next selection. I might have to go with another sub sandwich.
Okay.
And it's the meatball.
It's a formidable choice.
Because that, with add-ons, forget about it.
The Firehouse meatball has changed. The new Firehouse meatball has completely changed the way that I eat sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. With the pepperoni on it.
It's a pepperoni pizza meatball sandwich, and it is just out of this world good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad that I didn't get that one because I do love a good meatball.
But
I'm going to get – I don't know if I'm going to get dinged here for going super specific with my next choice.
Okay.
Day after Thanksgiving turkey sandwich.
Oh.
Boom!
And just like that.
Let's go.
Just like that.
I mean, it's
another 70-yard bomb, and you might have a chance to win this.
Tua Tagovailoa is out here just, let's go,
that was
baby.
Good.
That's the ultimate sandwich. The only thing that dings it is that you can only have it one time a year, but that's also what makes it so special.
That's not even kind of true. We do Thanksgiving in June.
With all the things?
Yeah.
That's a lot. You do that more than one time a year?
Mm-hmm. Why would you not?
We've
done it. We've done it in the summer before, just so we could make the sandwiches. Like, what I really want right now is a leftover Thanksgiving sandwich. All right, let's go. This is our Saturday now. We're cooking Thanksgiving. We're cooking a turkey. We're cooking stuffing. We're cooking all the things. Of course, those are in my fatter days, but still.
I was about to say, if anybody was curious how you had a heart attack at 40 years old, I think we just had evidence number 406 how that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've got to play the game because I'm going to do an undrafted free agent, and I got to figure out which one you would take if I'd.
I mean, it is time to take a break. Would you like to take a break?
Yes, I'm gonna.
Let's do that.
I think doing that's a good idea because I've got. Oh, I know exactly how I'm going to do this. You take the break.
All right.
Take the break. When we come back, last second rally, 28 points down in the fourth quarter. Jeremy's winning this. Call it right now. I'm going Matt Hasselbeck. I want the ball. I'm going to score.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The Foodocracy Daily Draft continues next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving stop and go 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between Bavard Road and Long Shoals Road. Future 26 westbound is stop and go approaching Broadway Street, continuing to New Stock Road. 40 westbound is slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound again slow between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue north and southbound approaching Edgewood Road delays. Again, Merriman Avenue northbound slow between Hillcrest Road and New Stock Road. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
In a world where thrills never stop, $1 million is on the line. And your fate is decided every 4 minutes by a bunch of random numbers with...
Dan, I think Keno's exciting enough without you doing the voice.
But my talents add a little something, right?
I guess.
Carolina Keno, $1 million thrills every 4 minutes.
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win. A price range from 1 to 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Join the 115th Canton Labor Day Festival, September 3rd and 4th at noon in Sorrells Park. Join in on the fun with a kids' fun zone, a car show, and music with Sammy Kershaw on Sunday. And Balsam Range on Monday. Canton Labor Day Parade starts at 10 a.m. Monday. Learn more at CantonLaborDay.com. Presented by Champion Credit Union with supporting sponsors Ingles Markets, McGill Associates, NCSmokies.com. For more info, go to CantonLaborDay.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. No, I was going to see. I turned your mic up just so to see if we could hear the jaw popping in the background. Jeremy forgot to eat lunch, and now that we're doing the sandwich draft, he had to run and go grab some food real quick.
I hurt my foot yesterday too. I went through the pain.
Oh. I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah, I stepped in a hole in the parking lot, and it has hurt all day long.
No good. No good. All right, so this is the last Foodocracy draft that we foresee being able to get to for a long time. And Patrick Holt, one of the founding fathers of the House of Reprehensibles in the Sportsocracy, well, I mean, he's been asking us to do sandwiches. He's our guy. He's our food guy. Has a food truck with his brother, Holt Brothers Barbecue. Fantastic food. I'll be honest with you. I've never tried it, unfortunately. And one day we're going to have to remedy that. But the pictures of his food are just amazing. They're competition barbecuers. It's great. You know everything that they make is great. Anyway, he's been asking us to do sandwiches for a long time. So here's the daily draft of sandwiches. Jeremy went with the grilled cheese first. Went super basic, but it is a classic. There was derision on my face, but only because I didn't think you'd go that simple that quickly. And then I came back with the Italian sub and the Philly cheesesteak and just put the contest out of reach. Then,
so you thought.
Then Jeremy surprised me by pulling the old hook and ladder and goes Cuban and Reuben, which are two of my favorite sandwiches. So immediately he got back into the ballgame. And then I went BLT and meatball. He followed that up with Thanksgiving leftover sandwich, which, to be honest with you, I had it in my mind, and I didn't think you'd think of it, honestly. And then you did. And then you did, and now I'm hurt, and now I'm just hoping that there's not a Doug Flutie-esque play here that will take this away from me.
There is for me.
All right, let's have it.
The reaction on your face is going to tell me how good this is.
Uh-huh.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah. I just took breakfast.
Yeah. And you could have it.
Really?
Yeah, you can have it.
Oh, that's one that I would have taken earlier had I thought about it. Because I have another one that I don't think you're going to take because I know your taste. So I'm going to try to slide that into the undrafted free agent.
Okay.
I thought about really cheating and saying meat, egg, and cheese because I like sausage too.
Okay. I mean, breakfast sandwich is great. And we could have done a whole draft on that. In fact, that was the original draft that Patrick wanted us to do, was the breakfast sandwiches. So good for you.
But that's the reason that I couldn't do that, because that's what I always eat at breakfast.
Right.
I don't eat anything else.
A little tip of the cap to you for bringing the breakfast sandwich into the sandwich draft, since that was the origination of the thought.
Now, Patrick Holt said he calls fouls. I told him specifically I can't do breakfast because I always eat the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him 2 full shots at that. 2 full shots.
Yep.
Adam Black said I choked the comeback. I don't think I did.
Yeah, you did.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, you did.
Really depends on what you're going to say.
You had a chance. And I feel like this is just, we should really stop now and just, this was top of the 9th. You had your chance and you blew it. But just to finish the game out here, I'll go ahead and take Patty Melt and be done.
We could have done this all day. I would have never gotten there.
I don't understand why, because that's a grilled cheese, a hamburger, and a BLT all wrapped into one. You throw some lettuce and tomato on that sucker, and it is phenomenal.
Why would I have never gotten there? Namely, because I would love to live to see tomorrow. Because the only place that I even know that serves that is Waffle House, and I have never eaten that place sober.
That's that. When I thought of it, I went, I don't care what he says right here, because to me, Patty Melt wraps it all up into one, and I don't know. I mean, it's a food draft, so you should expect that I'm going to win this thing. Undrafted free agent. You want to go ahead and give it to us?
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go first?
I have no fear that you're taking what I was planning on taking.
Really?
Nope. Not even
because I'm gonna go just outside the box, and I knew I didn't have to take this in the draft because you wouldn't have, but it's the ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't do ice cream, and I knew I didn't have to. That's why I held on to it.
That's playing the game nicely, because you knew I wasn't going to do it because I don't like ice cream.
Exactly. That's the ice cream sandwich, and it doesn't really even matter to me what's on it. I mean, what kind of ice cream? You could do the chocolate. You could do the Neapolitan ones. I mean, you're not going to buy them, but you won't turn it down if somebody offers it to you. Like, you go to your grandma's
it's
house
always
and
funny
she has
to me
the
when
Neapolitan
you say,
ones.
It's always funny when you say things like that, because the Neapolitan is about the only one I'm going to eat. Because I want the strawberry.
No. Sorry, strawberry ice cream, phenomenal. However, that strawberry stuff that you buy in the Neapolitan that doesn't have the real fruit in it, that's not strawberry. That's just pink. That's pink ice cream.
Oh, it's so good. I like the pink ice cream.
All right. Ice cream sandwich. That's my undrafted free agent.
Oh, I thought you were at least going to make me choose between 2.
Hey, let's do 2 of them. I can do another one.
Oh, so I'm going back to back here?
Sure.
Po' boy chicken parm.
Good for you. Okay. I'll be honest with you. Po' boy was the first one on my mind. But I am a formerly fatman, and I got my
You didn't think I was going to take that, did you?
No, I did. I mean, I figured there was a possibility that you would. I mean, we could go down the path of all of the different po' boys, and that could take forever.
What's your go-to there?
It depends. What time of year is it? Because if it's that time of year and it's in season, I'm going oyster po' boy.
I do like the oysters,
but if it's not in season, it's shrimp.
Shrimp's my
and that's it.
That's the go-to for me.
Okay, all right.
It's hard for me to eat oysters if I'm not real close to a body of water.
As much as I've talked about them, yes. Okay, fine, Steven, I'll do it. It's PB&J. I'll do the PB&J. I'll throw it in there. It wasn't what I was going to go with. I was going to go. I mean, you could go on a bevy of ways here. I mean, there is the Monte Cristo sandwich with the French toast and the ham and cheese divine. And the powdered sugar on top. Phenomenal.
That's what I get anytime I go to Cheddar's down there off Tunnel Road, because theirs is enough to that's immediate nap. You must immediately go lay down and have a nap because
right. The French dip didn't get mentioned. Somebody mentioned beef on weck. I have never had one of those, but I really want one now that I know what it is. Apparently that's a Buffalo thing, and I guess we'll have to talk to David Zach about that when he joins us again for football picks on just how good a beef on weck is.
He has told me when we go to Buffalo that is a must. I'm not allowed to spend time in that state without having one of those, and I'm looking very forward to it.
But when I looked up the beef on weck, I went, oh, well, that's a French dip on a Kaiser roll or a sling roll.
Some people call it a Kaiser roll. I call it a sling roll.
But then that made me think of the French dip, and I went, oh, yeah, the French dip is a phenomenal sandwich. I feel like this was another success for me here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400.
Patrick Holt, the originator of the draft, said both are winners.
Okay, let's all be winners because we're all winners when we have sandwiches.
It's true. Sandwiches are wonderful. And now we're going to take a commercial break. And during that commercial break, I'm going to inhale a whole lunch period's lunch in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
On the fringe of some tropical moisture tonight, there are flood watches up as close by as Greenville, South Carolina, and over to Charlotte. The northernmost fringe from Hurricane Idalia, keeping its hurricane status as it crosses Georgia into South Carolina. Some light rain showers possible for us. Thunderstorms possible, 58 degrees. Mostly sunny Thursday, high 82. Friday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow east of Bavard Road to Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound delays between Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Future 26 westbound stop and go between 240 and New Stock Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Off.
This is Pretection. Yep, Pretection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Prevention is the best protection. Off, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand, SC Johnson.
The iHeartRadio All Access free preview is coming. Listen to any song on demand, unlimited skips, even download your faves and listen offline. Experience true freedom. The iHeartRadio All Access free preview starts Monday. Download the free iHeartRadio app now. Free never sounded so good.
We said 1,500 hours.
Dax's hangar flies high thanks to his military precision.
Rob, you copy?
He wants to land some aircraft mechanics, preferably with a military background.
Okay, I wasn't aware of a new timeline. Cancel. Stand by for new assignments.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All across the Tar Heel State, this is Carolina football.
Stepping through a tackle and stepping to the end zone. It is pouring points in Chapel Hill. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win!
The season kicks off in Charlotte against South Carolina on Saturday, September 2nd. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7:30 on your home for Carolina football.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
It's ESPN Asheville, and this is the time where we give you the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Yeah, don't do crimes.
I just did a crime on a 20-piece chicken nugget.
You did, and
I ate them all. Literally, in that 3-minute break, I ate every last one of them.
It was so gross.
4 sauces, 20 nuggets, all went in this here face hole in that commercial break. What's up?
It's like being in the green room at a Lizzo concert.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN. I'm just going full in. Why not? I've already done it. And that's crimes.
Well, he just went, I'm just going to throw myself in the hole that I done.
Let's go to Idaho. We don't normally have Idaho stories in the Don't Do Crimes, but let's go. 55-year-old man is behind bars after, well, he did crimes. So he pulled a gun on a group of teenagers.
That's a bad call.
All right. So, well, I mean, you might think, what were these teenagers doing? Were they destroying his property? Were they, ganging up on an old lady in the street or something, and the guy was playing the hero? You don't know. There could be a scenario where that kind of activity could be justified. But I don't think this falls into it. The Fremont County Sheriff's Office says that they were patrolling on a Saturday night when dispatchers contacted them around midnight to go meet up with a group of 9 teenage boys who said they had gone to a house in Teton and they had been confronted by an adult male brandishing a weapon. And they said, well, I mean, there's a bunch of you. What were y'all doing at 11 o'clock at night around this guy's house? Well, apparently, and to me, this is this is old man talking here. If you're a group of teenagers, you probably shouldn't be in a group outside somebody's house at 11 o'clock at night. But here we found ourselves. One of the guys in the group was making a pitch to a girl in his class to go to the dance with him. And so they were leaving flowers on the porch. And like a John Hughes 1980s, romantic comedy, teenage drama kind of a movie.
They were trying John Cryer, like, let's go.
Right. It was John Cusack.
John Cryer was also in that movie, though.
Yes, he was talking about the boombox.
Yes.
That was John Cusack that did the boombox. But anyway, so they went and left the things on the porch, and then apparently they backed over the wrong strip of gravel in the guy's driveway, and that's when he lost his mind. Like, he didn't care that there was a group of teenagers outside the house. It was when they scuffed up the gravel driveway that he lost his mind.
A gravel driveway?
I don't know. I guess they spun the tire and it dug a hole or something. I don't know.
Get a rake, Grandpa.
He came chasing them out of the house, waving his gun in the air, telling them to get the bleep out of the car. And what would you do if you were in that scenario? I'd call the cops. 100%.
I'd get out of the car, but that's the difference between me and you.
Well, I mean, maybe they didn't have a U with them. Because the U would have got out of the car and looked at this man who, with his long, darkish gray beard, standing approximately 5'9" or 5'10", and would have said, "Do it, old man."
Yeah, you want to fight? There's a problem. You said that to a guy that always wants one. So,
look, I could get being protective of your daughter, being that protective of your driveway. It's a little too far. The guy's facing weapons charges. He's also facing criminal mischief charges in this scenario. And who knows how much jail time he may have to face.
This story gives me a little bit of faith that there might be some salvaging the state of California yet.
Yeah.
It also reemphasizes something I've said for a long time. you'll not get your news from Facebook. A 50-year-old woman in Chico, California was arrested on Monday. She was at a Target department store. The loss prevention team claimed that the suspect was seen stealing a cart full of items, loading them into her vehicle, and she turned around to fill up a second cart, but was stopped by police. It was at this time that she told the officers that they could not arrest her because there was a new shoplifting law in the state of California that says police are not allowed to pursue shoplifting victims after they have left.
Oh, really?
Would you care to guess where she heard that?
TikTok.
That'd be on Facebook. Care to guess if that's true or not?
It's not.
It's not. So when she said, "I got you," da-da-da, they went, cool. Elemento arrested.
Yeah.
Stupid. Hey, you want to be stupid and get your news from Facebook? Don't be shocked when you register a 10 on the FAFO scale.
100%.
I would give $50 to see this video. Oh, by the way, this woman was 50 years old. This somebody that's almost old enough to be my mother going, nanny, can't get me. I got it back in my car, and I'm coming back for more.
People are so stupid.
And jail.
Yeah. You deserve
If we did more of that in this country, there would be less crimes. That's not an opinion. That's fact.
It's very true. Very true.
Denver Donkey said telling cops they can't arrest you always makes it worse. I almost found that out the hard way one time.
Please tell that story.
Well, I looked as though I was doing crimes. I was not, and I got searched by a cop, and I was going to a swimming pool. You know how a quick search goes, and I said something not nice when the hand went over a specific spot, and I got to see what the hood or what the roof of my own car tasted like.
Great to say.
What's up?
You fawed, and now you shall.
Oh yeah, and very thankfully he didn't go and jail because that was back in the time when we did that. I call that the before times.
I wouldn't even smart off to my own grandmother, much less a guy with a pistol on his hip that has a baton longer than my forearm. There's no chance ever.
Well, you see
yes, sir. No, sir. Hands on the wheel. Dome lights are on. I'll do whatever you say.
So you see how egotistical I am now? You can imagine how egotistical I was when I was younger and in much better shape. It's a million wonders I still have all my teeth.
This is very true. Because if I'd have been that cop, I probably would have tried to knock him out.
And you would have been justified. And then that story would have gone a whole different way.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Don't do crimes. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville College football right around the corner. Tomorrow night and tomorrow on this show, you'll have the first round of bangers. Even though you've been trickling out bangers all week, are you going to have enough in the tank for a full bangers tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
With all of the games that are going on?
I have no fear. Okay. Underdog is here. Let's go.
He'll figure out a way, even if he has to throw out Brandon Armstrong prop bets.
I don't think I have to dig that deep into the well. Now, I mean, I might have to dig deep enough into the old bag of tricks to go, I don't know, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Tulsa first halves. Guess what? That money spends too, ladies and gentlemen.
It's very true.
Even if it's a game that you wouldn't watch if it was on the only television channel on your television, that money still spends.
Patrick Holt, the NC State fan who was upset with your UConn plus the number, plus 18.5, was it?
Yeah, that's come down to 14.
It has. He said he made a little wager with a coworker, just for entertainment purposes. He says
that's what a lie sounds like.
Yeah, he says the coworker went to UConn, and he lived in UConn or in Connecticut, and he told him your prediction, and he was all for it. So there is now a side wager at Patrick Holt's work that he's hoping you're wrong on.
NC State will win. UConn will cover. I feel very sure of that.
Okay. All right.
Look, UConn was dog water for a long time. They're not awful, and they return a lot, which means they'll hit the ground running, which is why that number has come down 4.5 points in 4 days.
Indeed. I'm really looking forward to the opener of the college football season for the Tar Heels, because I think that's going to be a hell of a competitive game. That could be like an all-timer kind of a game.
I don't know that I can go all-timer.
You don't think so?
I think it's going to be a track meet.
That's what I'm saying.
And I feel very sure that there will be a little wager on that game come Friday.
Yes, there will be. If you're a fan of a team at the top of the rankings, unless you're a Florida State or LSU fan, I don't think you really have anything to worry about this week. It's just going to be easing into the college football schedule. Earlier in the program, we were talking about pressure spots in college football. And one name that we didn't mention that I wanted to get out was Mario Cristobal. It hasn't gone well at all since he got there, and I get that it's all still kind of brand new. But is this not a school that expects itself to be on that upper tier? And how short is that leash?
Well, that depends. Have they learned squat, or are we going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again? Let me tell you a fun stat.
Okay.
It's the year 2023. How many 10-win seasons does Miami have since 2003?
3.
You're too high.
2?
It's 1.
1?
Care to guess who that coach was?
Al Golden.
It was Mark Richt.
Okay.
Real easy to forget that because they've had 6 coaches in the last 20 years. Look, lifelong Florida State guy. I think Mario Cristobal is the right choice at Miami.
Okay.
You're going to have to be patient because Manny Diaz was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You ran Mark Richt out of town the first opportunity you got. Since 2003, who is the longest tenured Miami coach? I'll give you the names.
I was going to say, was it the guy I mentioned?
I don't know who you said.
Al Golden.
It is Al Golden.
Yeah.
By 1 year.
There you go.
Not one of them got a full 5 years because Al Golden got fired in the 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumb. Dumb, da-dum-dum.
Is it, though? I mean, if you're a program like that, that's the window I expect.
It takes you 3 years to relaunch the program.
Maybe in the old college football.
It takes you I'm going to say what I just said again.
Okay.
It takes you 3 years to relaunch the program. I don't care if you are Deion Sanders and you bring in 84 new players. That's how many new players are on the Colorado roster, by the way. It's a stat I found out today.
Really?
84.
Yikes.
Between JUCOs, high school players, and transfers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep doing this. Now, I understand why you said it, because he started 5-7.
Right.
And there were these aspirations. Miami is their biggest enemy is this expectation that they've turned a corner. They haven't turned a corner in the last 20 years. Soon as the music video from Step Brothers stopped happening, if you know, you know.
Right.
They became rather irrelevant, but they weren't treated that way. They haven't recruited like that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, like I said, I get why you said Mario Cristobal. It should not be the case.
Yeah, I will agree with you because I'm not the guy who's let's give him 2 years to turn it around and see what happens, and then we'll make a call. But is that not a school that's in the same boat as these others? Of they feel like they're a brand, they know they're a brand.
Miami is a brand, but somebody's going to have to bring it back to a brand before any of that matters. And so somebody's got to be the smart one in the room to go, we got to stop firing coaches every 3 years.
Okay. And maybe they've got that person. Maybe that person is in the room now. But I would think, as you were saying, it takes 3 years to build a program back to prominence. Sure, to get it on real solid footing. But I would think with the transfer rules the way that they are now and the NIL and all of that, you could build a program faster. And I think Mario Cristobal is probably expected to build it faster.
But not in a year. If you're expecting somebody to turn you around in a year, I mean, you got to understand, in spite of what Deion Sanders says, there's a culture element to this.
Mm-hmm.
When you got a culture of losing, you're not flipping the whole roster. He did, and I got news for you. He going to find out Saturday why that may not be the greatest decision that you've ever made. Because there's a great possibility that you're getting ready to get absolutely embarrassed. So, to me, I wouldn't have him on the list, but I understand why you said it.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound stop and go between exit 2 and exit 4A. Future 26 westbound crawling between 240 and New Stock Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between the French Broad River and Long Shoals Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction and George's Branch Road. North Asheville, Merriman Avenue, north and southbound near Edgewood Road. Heavy delays. Again, Merriman Avenue northbound, very busy between Hillcrest Road and New Stock Road. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need for the office and the classroom for less. Now save even more with $10 off document printing when you spend $40 or more. Offer ends 9/30. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See associate or visit staples.com/printing for details.
Win your way to our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival and $1,000.
Oh, man, that is great.
You'll be there.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Gear up, music fans. Hyundai is back again this year as a proud partner of the 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Join them on the ultimate musical journey as the all-star lineup hits the stage like you've never seen before. Hyundai, it's your journey.
Join the 115th Canton Labor Day Festival, September 3rd and 4th at noon in Sorrells Park. Join in on the fun with a kids' fun zone, a car show, and music with Sammy Kershaw on Sunday. And Balsam Range on Monday. Canton Labor Day Parade starts at 10 a.m. Monday. Learn more at CantonLaborDay.com. Presented by Champion Credit Union with supporting sponsors Ingles Markets, McGill Associates, NCSmokies.com. For more info, go to CantonLaborDay.com.
iHeartRadio.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, September 22nd and 23rd.
The most unforgettable weekend of music on the planet.
Buy tickets now at AXS.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's battle for the belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, Jeremy's breaking microphones because he's done with the day.
That's why you don't use your left hand to take a drink of it. Especially when you're not real coordinated with the left hand.
Yes, indeed. Earlier in the program, the end of the 3 o'clock hour, we were mentioning overrated fantasy players since a lot of fantasy drafts are happening over the coming days. I have one tonight that I will be at.
I'm going to crash it.
51 North Merriman Avenue, the Village Porch, the football home of the Sportsocracy.
I'm going to crash it and just pound fireballs right behind you and go, you should draft better.
It does kind of amp up the pressure when I know Jeremy's going to be looking over my shoulder for this one. But anyway,
you going, oh, it done that.
We ran out of time. We only had like 2 names to get to in there in the overrated fantasy players for this year. So we give you the opportunity here for a couple more before we end today's program.
I am officially living by the Ricky Bobby philosophy at tight end. I either want to be first or last. So Travis Kelce, yeah, you should draft him the first round every chance you get. I don't care if it's at 3. You're to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of them, I'm good. George Kittle, out. Mark Andrews, out. Darren Waller, I'm fine, but I'm starting to feel like he's creeping up after the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Enough people figured out what it was I was doing, and a lot of other people like me, and now he's getting to that point where I'm still going to take him. I'm just, now it's more, okay, that's, you with Kelce, love that. You by yourself, still like it, just not as much.
Okay.
But Waller's kind of the exception. I'd rather go Cole Kmet, Pat Freiermuth, Chig Okonkwo, some combination of those two.
That's a good one.
I love Cole Kmet. Receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. Stop doing it. I don't know why people are doing this. I cannot for the life of me figure it out. He's going as a top 25 wide receiver. He's not.
Mm-hmm. Current ADP at 22.
Yeah, he's coming off a PED suspension. He's been hurt 2 years in a row. He's in a new system. Oh, yeah, and they don't have another receiver that's any good. I'm out.
Except for Treylon. You like Treylon.
He's fine for where he goes.
Okay.
One of them you're getting at wide receiver 50. One of them you're getting at wide receiver 22.
Yes. Don't take DeAndre Hopkins in the top 25. Gotcha.
Those mid-tier quarterbacks like Daniel Jones, Matthew Stafford, if I'm going to do that, I mean, first of all, I don't have to because I'm finding Deshaun Watson and Tua Tagovailoa a lot.
Yep.
And that's really easy for me. I don't mind Kirk Cousins just because I think he's really safe. But like Matthew Stafford, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that team's going to look like, and I can't figure out how they're going to win a game.
Because the only production he's going to throw up is what he's getting to Cooper Kupp. So,
and you could see him get shut down 4 weeks in.
Yes.
I mean, that's how bad that team actually is. And then a running back. A running back that, I mean, I feel like I've said a bunch of these.
You have. Saquon Barkley, you've already mentioned him.
I have. I'm going to say a name that probably surprised you.
Okay.
Tony Pollard.
That does surprise me. Is it because of where you're having to take him in the first round? Or?
Yes, and because of how I think that offense is going to look.
Okay.
Mike McCarthy has a very serious history of finding 2 running backs. And right now, Tony Pollard's going like he's the only one on the roster. I don't think he is.
Well, didn't you say earlier in the show that they had just traded for James Conner?
No. That is a rumor that's floating out there right now.
Okay.
And that was a rumor I told you off air, which is, I guess from now on I have to hold up my little sign of, this is not confirmed. Don't say it out loud yet.
Yes. You should definitely do that. But so
don't
the rumor.
Don't do crimes.
It's not crimes. Maybe a little unethical, but it's not crimes.
I wasn't talking about you saying it.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Back with you tomorrow at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
On the fringe of some tropical moisture tonight, there are flood watches up as close by as Greenville, South Carolina, and over to Charlotte. The northernmost fringe from Hurricane Idalia, keeping its hurricane status as it crosses Georgia into South Carolina. Some light rain showers possible for us. Thunderstorms possible, 58 degrees. Mostly sunny Thursday, high 82. Friday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 80. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.